Describe in single words only the good things that come into your mind. About your mother?
My mother?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my mother.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Have you ever been in an institution? Cells.
Cells.
Do they keep you in a cell? Cells.
Cells.
When you're not performing your duties, do they keep you in a little box? Cells.
This causes it. This causes it. This causes it. Information overload. All the electronics around you poisoning the airwaves.
You are listening to the High Tech Low Life podcast, a cyberpunk media retrospective. High Tech Low Life contains language and themes not suitable for all audiences, as well as spoilers for the content being covered. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back, everybody, to the High Tech Low Life podcast, season 3. We are doing it again, and this week, a long-awaited episode, most requested, possibly one of the most requested, one we've talked about for ages. It's a big one, and to do a big episode like this, you have to assemble a team. And so,
start montage music.
We have done just that. Starting with my co-host Josh, I want everybody to introduce themselves and tell us your connection to Shadowrun, because that's what we're covering this week. It's Shadowrun. Josh, I want you to go first because it's your podcast too, and I haven't let you speak yet.
That's true. I did sigh when you said season 3.
The sigh said a lot.
Yeah, I like to feel like I can convey a lot with it. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh. I'm the co-host of this podcast. And my connection to Shadowrun is playing hundreds of hours of it, primarily in the decade of the 1990s.
Hell yeah.
And reading a lot of books and, all that shit.
Yeah.
How's that?
Sure.
Yeah, next we have Ben from Pink Fohawk, who's been on the show before.
Hey, guys. Welcome, or not welcome. Thank you for having me back. I'm so used to having my own podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not on mine. I'm on yours.
I mean, you can welcome them.
Thank you. Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome to High Tech Low Life, everybody.
Yeah, it sounds good. In fact, I should isolate that.
People that don't listen to me, they're going to hate. They're not going to understand that. Yeah, I have a podcast. Me and a few friends, we play Shadowrun 2nd Edition. It's ridiculous and fun.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
That's another one of my connections to Shadowrun. I listen to Ben's podcast.
Yeah.
We are, it's incredibly vulgar and raunchy, but it's you guys we're kindred spirits. I feel like you guys are pretty raunchy as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a compliment.
It is.
Lastly, on our team, we have Dean, who...
Hey, folks. Yeah, I run the Shadowrun Archive, as we are calling it now, otherwise nullsheen.com. And I also have run and played hundreds and hundreds of hours of Shadowrun for like 20-something years. Because it's an amazing setting and system, and I just couldn't get enough, man.
It's a freaking
Well, let's
best.
not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I mean...
Amazing?
Yeah, I haven't changed editions in 20 years, so I'm doing great.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay.
That's the way to do it.
Dean's really smart too, though. Like you add more crunch, that dude can handle it.
I love it. I can't get enough of it, honestly.
Yeah, I always knew Ben was going to come back for our Shadowrun episode, but we've been playing some D&D 2nd Edition with Dean, and it seems like he knows a lot, and we need smart people on this show because Josh and I ain't it.
We don't. Hey, speaking of which, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us your relationship to Shadowrun, Eric?
Mine is the same as everybody else's. My name is Eric, and I'm a Shadowrun-aholic. So.
I'm about to say we sound like a support group.
Oh no!
I was introduced to it. I think 8th grade. A friend brought the book to. No, it's 9th grade. Brought the book to a choir class, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" And I think I stole that book, or maybe I bought my own. I don't know. Somehow I ended up with the book, and I loved it ever since. It was my complete introduction to Cyberpunk. Like I didn't know what Cyberpunk was before Shadowrun. So
same.
Beautiful.
Yeah, everything I experienced after Shadowrun, I compared to Shadowrun, like all
Same.
of its influences. I was like, Blade Runner, that's kind of like Shadowrun, and I had it all backwards.
Yeah,
But
to William Gibson's dismay, many people took the route.
Just throwing fuel on the fire.
Yeah, god damn elves and shit. What is going on?
So we're about to talk about Shadowrun a lot. Before we do that, though, we always start off the show a different way. We get the juices flowing. First of all, I wanted to mention that hopefully you've noticed we have a completely new logo and artwork for our podcast on social media. I was fed up with the AI art I used when I started, and so I commissioned an artist, and I want to give them proper credit, but I didn't pull it up in time. So we'll come back to that. But we got new artwork. Your eyes don't deceive you. We haven't been hacked.
Nice.
Made by human hands.
Back to the meat. Yeah. Meat body. Not AI weirdness. I respect that.
I mean, I made it when AI was brand new. Like, it was the one that's on Discord, and I was like, and honestly, I just used it as a filler. Like, I did the lettering, and I just used the background as AI. But as AI gets more and more pervasive and gross and all-encompassing in our society, I really wanted to get rid of it. So, we got to thank the patrons for that, because the patrons allowed us to actually hire an artist.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gillyvor. It's Gillyvor. They have a Ko-fi and an Instagram. Their Instagram is dope. Their art is really fucking cool. It's very cyberpunky and stylistic. And I will link to them actually, I'll probably link to them in every show from now on, because most of our art is going to be because of them.
Yeah.
Where'd you find them?
Bluesky.
Nice.
I follow a lot of artists on Bluesky because it's a really good place for that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the first one I messaged, and they were like, they sounded excited to do it. So
sick.
It took some time. We've been working on it for a while.
Yeah, we went through several rounds of does this look better or does this look better? Left eye, right eye, et cetera. But yeah, the results are great.
Yes. So now let's talk about something that's not great.
Real life.
Sounds accurate.
We've been gone for 2.5 months.
2 months?
Something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of news has happened. We can't go through it, obviously, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because we got a lot of Shadowrun to talk. But Josh, what's happened in the last 3 months that is worth mentioning?
Okay. Flooding in Texas, firestorms in Los Angeles, ICE operating openly, masked and unbadged in American cities, the federal government taking over policing of Washington, D.C., let's see, at least a couple of bare minimum manslaughters at the hands of ICE. Let's see, what else? People getting arrested as they're showing up for court dates and then deported to countries in entirely different hemispheres from either America or where they initially originated. Alligator, Alcatraz.
Famine in Palestine.
Yeah.
Not famine. A starvation effort.
Campaign. Yeah.
Campaign. Yeah.
Ongoing genocide. Let's see. Ongoing war in Ukraine, possibly with something resembling a peace treaty on the horizon when the aggressor and the president of the United States decide to make an agreement that has no involvement in the defender in that war.
We never talked about it that much, but that war is the most cyberpunk fucking war.
It has gotten super cyberpunk over the past 2 years.
Just the drone effort.
Yeah, just the drone stuff.
Tech that's behind that is wild.
It would be very cool if it wasn't, resulting in so much death.
Yeah.
Right. But
if it was a movie, it'd be dope.
And it's produced some amazingly cyberpunk pictures too of people with the full drone helmets on with the 3D environment stuff.
And just the thousands of optical lines, draped over trees after their drones have been destroyed.
Yep.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But it's neat, I guess.
Yeah. I guess that's a cyberpunk future, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Sounds like the last couple months have sucked.
Suboptimal.
We'll work on it. Maybe the fall will be better. I don't know what to say, dude. There's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize once I started just listing things how long that would go.
And I know you hit a fifth. A tenth of it.
Yeah, I was going to guess a tenth.
And how horrifyingly easy it came to you.
Yep.
All of the news podcasts I listen to that like focus on talking about current events have gone to like twice a week formats, or they've upped their amount because you can't keep up. After a week, the thing that was happening a week ago is almost forgotten. Epstein, you didn't even mention Epstein.
Yeah, the Epstein list. No list, right?
No, yeah, the lack of list.
Lack of list.
Yeah.
Suicide verdict.
The most guilty man on earth puts forth the weakest defense you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's purposefully dense, right?
Yeah.
Every week is meant to be too much for us to really comprehend on purpose. So it's messed up. You got to keep up. If you don't keep up, you'll never catch up. That's the point.
Anyway, join local
militias,
political groups. Honestly, if they're good militias, do it.
Yeah, if they're good kind.
John Brown Gun Club.
Throw sandwiches. Do your part.
Oh God, that is so great, man. I caught that video. I think right at the front end when it first hit Blue Sky, and I was like, oh, this is either going to blow up hugely, or is the dude's going to get shot by the end of the video, one way or the other.
There are a lot of really good people fighting the new Gestapo in the streets and de-arresting people and saving families. So, I mean, I obviously we can't tell somebody that that's what they should do, but whatever you can do to help whoever you can is usually a good idea.
If nothing else, remember, you always have the option to do like a couple of people in a video I saw from I think it was the Overland Park, maybe the Olathe area earlier. No, I guess it was last week, where ICE attempted to raid a restaurant, and this person videotaped it and just berated and motherfucked the ICE agents in terror back to their truck.
That's surprisingly effective.
Fucking cowards behind your masks. Fuck you, fascist twerps, etc., etc.
Nice.
Yeah. So, you've got that option. That's not assault. That's not battery. I mean, you're not touching them. You're not touching me. You're not touching me.
For now, you have that option.
Yeah, they don't have shame, but they do have very thin skin.
Yeah.
You can't appeal to.
Yeah, they're piss babies. And,
Well, maybe things will be better.
I'm sure they will be.
I'm sure. What could go wrong? Crazy. Too much stuff. All right. Another thing we like to do on this podcast, after we've completely depressed ourselves talking about modern times, is we like to recommend stuff we've seen. Now, I know Josh has had 3 months of watching stuff and probably has a million things in the hopper, but in interest of time, I'm going to limit us to one each. And if you guys, I didn't ask you to prepare anything, so if you don't have anything, that's fine. But do you have anything you've watched, listened to, consumed that you'd like to recommend because you think it's good enough? And I'll let Josh go first.
Okay. I think I do have a lot of stuff that I could talk about. I only have two things that I would actually strongly recommend on this show. And I'm going to
only have one.
No, fuck you. I'm going to do two, but one of them is kind of homework.
Oh God. Did so much for this episode.
The other one that isn't homework or future homework, whatever, is 28 Years Later.
Oh, I saw that.
All right, on.
That movie is. I expected it to be good because Danny Boyle's a good director, and it's got a bunch of talented people in it and stuff. Boy, that movie is very effective, and I don't think Danny Boyle is very happy with Brexit.
No, I don't think he is either.
Also, a lot of hanging dong.
A lot of dong.
I'm in.
It's dirty dong too. There's no clean dong,
and just towers of skulls. You know,
that sounds rad.
It's a very, very good movie. Very effective.
Yeah. Dean, did you have something?
Yeah. Just as a aside, I always end up watching like probably a movie every other day because I have a media obsession. And what I discovered is on YouTube Premium right now, every single Tremors movie is available.
Oh,
that's so specific. And
so
amazing.
I'm on 6 right now, and I think I still have a movie or 2 left.
I didn't know it that high.
Wow.
They stopped numbering them at 5.
Okay, but which ones do you recommend?
Obviously, Tremors: Mission to Moscow. Tremors 4. Tremors 4 Back in the Habit.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's very timely. It's a very timely film right now.
It's a wild ride no matter where you go. I mean, obviously the first one is probably the best.
Mm-hmm.
The next 2 are less cash grabby. And after that, it just goes completely off the rails, man.
I kind of respect a franchise that's like, we're not getting back our relevance. We got to do something crazy.
Right. We don't even know how we got any relevance.
Right.
Yeah.
And it kind of follows one of the characters from the original, which I was not prepared for there to be like returning cast characters. That dude's been in like every movie.
Is it the gun guy, Bert?
The Family Ties dad?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Was it Fred Ward in the first one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for fucking 30 years, I'm sure. But
my Dune Awakening guild is called the Graboids.
Is it really? Phenomenal.
That's awesome.
That's a good tie-in, really. So yeah, go watch all the Tremors you can stomach. I am.
That's amazing.
You have anything, Ben?
I do, actually. This is going to sound like a cop-out, but I recommend the Shadowrun novels. And I just recently read 2XS, which I had never read before, which is a fucking incredible book. It's a really good book. Nigel Finley.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I won't ruin anything, but what's really great about the early novels especially, but I've heard there's really good ones even being written today.
I've seen some that tempted me for sure.
Yeah. Is that it's like the perfect intro to Shadowrun. If you're not like a gamer or something, but you kind of are interested in the idea of it, the novels are just such a good, you would never know there's a game about it. They're just they're so well integrated, and like it's cyberpunk through and through, and the magic's not heavy handed in any way, at least from the ones that I've read. So I recommend.
The ones I've read, it does feel like the writers wanted to write cyberpunk books, not necessarily urban fantasy.
Yeah. Yep. And I have a little story about that as well later, but that's
we'll get to it. We'll get into the lore section, I'm sure.
Too, those have just recently come out on audiobook now too. Aren't they re-releasing everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the original trilogy. Yeah,
really, that's neat.
Yeah, I will say this. I will say this. If you're like, I got to start from the beginning, and you start to read the very first The Secrets of Power trilogy, and you're like, I can't really get through it. You're same as me. Just skip it. Just skip it. If you can't get through it, there's better books.
Go ahead, jump to Mel Odom or Tom Dowd.
Yes, yes. Burning
and
Bright.
You don't need them in order either.
No.
There isn't anything that's a callback unless it's within that same series, like Dragonheart or Secrets of Power.
Right.
I will also say one of the reasons I forced finally getting this episode done was because I want to cover some on this show. Some of the novels were very important to me as a developing, young mind. So I hope we can actually read some of them at some point in the future.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
All right. Lastly, I'm going to do one that is dumb. I think Twisted Metal is one of my favorite shows on fucking TV. It's so stupid.
I think maybe one of my favorite shows. I don't think I would qualify it as that, but yeah, it's very fun and dumb.
Maybe it's recency bias because I haven't seen anything I've liked as much in a little while, but it is so stupid and silly, but man, it's fun and gory and raunchy. It's very Pink Fohawk, actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
I would say so.
My God, that's the best compliment.
Sweet Tooth is amazing.
Sweet Tooth is fantastic. Everybody in it is perfectly cast.
Yeah.
What's the dude who plays Calypso? The guy from Barry?
Anthony Kerrigan.
God, he's so fucking good.
Noah Hank.
Yeah, Noah Hank. Just watch it.
I also saw him in something else in like the past 3 days. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's having a moment.
Yeah, he really was having a good year.
He deserves it.
And as a tie-in to our show, I do believe the high school that appears, I think, in episode 6 of the second season, I think the exterior shot of that high school is the same school as class of 1999. So,
Josh, you're amazing.
That is a tie-in.
Just
dude is
somebody handed in their emotional support AK.
That's true.
Class of 1999 is a classic.
Okay, so really quick, my potential homework thing. Alien Earth has just started airing last week. There are 2 episodes out now. It's on Hulu, fucking FX, Disney Plus. I don't know. One of those.
Your local pirate ship.
Yeah, basically.
Wink, wink.
And I strongly recommend what I've seen so far. It really seems like Noah Hawley, the creator who also did Legion and the Fargo TV shows, he seems like he was a lot more interested in making a Blade Runner show than an Alien show. But then he was like, but I also want some monsters to like eat people. Because a huge amount of the first 2 episodes is about the politics of like there are 5 huge corporations that run human society in the world and galaxy and machinations between them. And also, okay, so we've got humans, we've got cyborgs, we've got synthetics, and we've got this new version. And who really counts as a people?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Apparently, I mean, there's theories that it's all connected anyway, and Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
I mean, and who cares?
I do.
Like,
I love
it. It's great if it is, but really, it doesn't matter. Regardless, the first couple episodes of the show are very fun. Timothy Oliphant is killing it in fucking Rutger Hauer hair.
That's beautiful.
If they wanted to make Blade Runner with monsters, they should have just made it in the universe of that fucking Rutger Hauer movie whose name is I'm blanking on right now. Nemesis. No, not Nemesis.
Split Second.
Split Second needs an expanded universe.
Yeah, I'd watch. Yeah.
Every scene is slightly flooded.
Yeah, because, I mean, they nailed it.
Yeah. And I mean, that was the creature in that was clearly a ripoff of the Xenomorph.
It was 100% a ripoff of the Xenomorph. Oh, man. All right. That was good. You guys did great. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Backhanded.
What?
We've got to talk about Shadowrun now.
Got to.
We got to. The world needs this. So... disclaimer up top: the Shadowrun community can be vicious and cruel, as Ben is well aware, I'm sure.
He has an amazing short about it too.
Yeah, they are some of the worst, but also some of the best.
We love them and we hate them.
Yes.
So whatever you're expecting from this episode, just don't.
Just shut up. Just shut it.
This is kind of an extended Shadowrun 101. We're not going to spend much time talking about the game itself or the system. We are a fiction podcast, so we're going to mostly be talking about the lore of the game.
Mm-hmm. But I want to know when to integrate my combat pool, Eric.
That's too damn bad.
Right. Physical adepts, automatic hits. You like it or not?
Actually, physical adept, polearm user. Every scene you've ever been to?
And here I am already resisting the urge to
jump into it.
I know.
I'm like hating Eric into it.
Believe me, phys ad rules are something I am conversant in.
Because combat pool was so good, and I miss it.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, you could always go back to it. It's a friend waiting for you at the edge of that bookcase.
Right,
it calls to you.
That's the
it
dog.
wants to hear from you.
Yeah, it's the dog from Futurama. It's still waiting there, man.
Oh,
you left
man.
You left it.
Oh, I know it's waiting for me. I am sitting literally 2.5, 3 feet from my at this point 27-year-old character sheet for Duran, a troll physical adept.
Love the name.
You have the character sheet? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dude, that's awesome.
I found it in my basement like 3 years ago, and I think I sent you a picture. I also have Wes's Murphy's character sheet. I found it in my basement like 3 or 4 years ago, and was like, "Holy shit!"
Well, you said his name was Duran. It's Cordo, right?
Or Cordo. Sorry, yeah.
Duran is from the book.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
I thought it was like Duran.
Not that old. Almost.
Yeah.
I have a
Cordo named after the guy from Neuromancer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had to rebuy my soft cover for second edition, but the inside has a little panel, like a comic panel, taped to the inside of the inside cover from John McPherson, and it's a dude. He's got a TV remote, like surgically implanted into his arm, and he's like controlling the TV from his chair. And it says, "Tired of constantly searching for the TV remote, Sven opts for one of the new remote implants." And then the person who owned this book wrote down essence cost 0.2. And I was like, this is amazing.
Fucking nerds, man.
Kind of worth it. Kind of worth it.
Yeah.
All right, let's skip to the basics of this game. Shadowrun, for those of you who are fans of this podcast but don't know anything about Shadowrun, which there might be a couple. A lot of Cyberpunk people are Shadowrun haters, and that's fair. I get it. But it is an urban fantasy cyberpunk game which combines like magic and elves and dwarves and dragons.
Yeah,
your typical cyberpunk stuff.
Yeah, a company like, I don't know, what, 35 years ago, 37 years ago, a company named FASA decided...
1989.
Yeah.
The number.
Another summer. Get down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the new Spike Lee movie is fucking badass as well.
Okay. That's 3. You're really overstepping your shit.
I don't think he's done.
He's
going to keep slipping these in.
We take 2 months off. I'm going to have shit to talk about. Anyway, fucking 35 odd years ago, a company named FASA decided they wanted to rip off Cyberpunk 2020 and Dungeons and Dragons. And they did it.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking at.
Do this and not get sued. I know.
Yeah,
we'll slightly change all the things a little bit.
Yeah,
so it's a real peanut butter in my chocolate, chocolate in my peanut butter thing.
Yes, and it's amazing combination.
Yeah, they combine very well, as it turns out. I don't want to start listing facts, but it did start in '89 by FASA.
I do have a fun anecdote or story.
Please
so when I was talking to Tom Dowd, who was one of the writers and he's the designer of the Shadowrun game system.
Feel free to plug that video.
Yeah.
Here.
We have a YouTube sort of playlist where we did a second edition Shadowrun book club where we just went through the core rule book of second edition. And out of nowhere, the guy, the writer, Tom Dowd, reached out. I was like, I'm in. And he had a picture of his first printing of first edition Shadowrun. And I wasn't wanting to run it because I'm lazy. But then I was like, okay, now I got to fucking do this. And it was great because it was just maybe 10 or 11 people jumped on and he just we went through chapter by chapter of the book. So that's on YouTube. People can check it out. But he mentioned that, they came together to make a Cyberpunk game originally. And they had all the bones of it written out. It was going to be called Technomancer. Mm-hmm. But when right before they released it, Cyberpunk 2020 came out and hit the shelves. Oh. So they panicked. They're like, oh, fuck. We can't release this now. And Jordan Weissman, who was vacationing in Japan at the time, had this fever dream where there were elves on Harleys, shooting spells at each other. And he called them, was like, I got it. We're going to mix D&D into this. We're going to put them together. And apparently Dowd said, he was none of us were excited about the idea. We were like, this is stupid. But then they were like, all right, well, let's figure it out. We have the bones here. They kind of had the sequence of events of how the cyberpunk hellscape came about. How do we inject magic into it? So it was a cool little story.
No, that's great. And I guess in a world where Shadowrun doesn't exist, or like, I don't know, the movie Bright, that is an insane idea. To think about.
And I totally, his feelings about it make all the sense in the world. Like, well, I think this idea is probably pretty stupid. But on the other hand, we can't come second to market, a year later with almost exact, a different system, but effectively the same setup.
Right. And rivaling a system called Cyberpunk in the name. Like, what the fuck? So I brought that story up. You reminded me of it, Eric, because you mentioned the novels sound like they feel like people that wanted to write Cyberpunk. And it's, I feel like that was true. Like, I think they were really into that vibe, like what you guys cover every episode. That's what they wanted to write. So it really comes across, which is great.
I feel like they, maybe because of that, they hit on a good mix, because it could, I don't know, Shadowrun does get weird in places, but I think it's at its best when magic is peppered in lightly. It's a spice, not the main course. Although one could argue in the lore, it becomes pretty main coursey in points.
Dean has an argument about later editions.
Yep. I have a lot to say. I'm going to just hold that back. But yeah, that used to be more about, people fighting back against the corporations, and the people who had magic were grasping at straws, given tools to fight an oppression that no other tool could touch.
Right.
Yeah, and it was like the great equalizer too, because the corporations wanted mages, but there's so few of them. Yeah.
And they're still trying to figure out what happened, because like 15, 20 years ago, the shit didn't exist. Now we have to produce mages, and we know people have talent, but we don't know how to harness that talent. And if you harness it wrong, people die. So.
Mass casualties.
That's something I really like about the game too, is that it's magic was left purposefully mysterious in a lot of ways, which is really cool. Yeah.
Well, and I think they did a really smart thing in terms of how they set up the magic in terms of the world, was like the main, like, kind of magic's big dramatic entrance to the world and the lore was effectively an act of resistance, the Great Ghost Dance, and where it's, these people have literally been stuck in effectively concentration camps and are being, arguably actively genocided, and shit, they now have a power that is beyond our understanding and control. And
I don't think that's arguably, from what I remember from my research, there was like an act saying it's legal to genocide natives.
I think you're
after
right.
they were put in camps.
Yep.
They signed it into law, and then the United, or the groups of resistance basically said, we have to do something. What do we do?
Yeah.
And they were like, last ditch effort. Because I want to say too, at that point, weren't the UGE babies already being born? So they already kind of knew that stuff was weird.
Yeah.
Because that's
the early elves and dwarves were starting.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, well, we need to just swing for the fences and see what happens. And then,
but you're right, it was an act of resistance, so that was the main
100%
onto the stage. Which, I mean, Cyberpunk at its core, as Shadowrun morphed and as it became a moneymaker, of course the resistance theme got left a little bit in the dust, which is unfortunate but seemingly inevitable.
Right. Yep. A really cool line in the book that I just thought was so fucking punk and awesome was when they fought back and basically won, right? It said that Mother Nature had spoken, and it was showing whose side it was on.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking rad.
It is.
Mother Nature has spoken, and she says, fuck you, pigs.
Yeah, she's like, fuck you, pigs.
All right. So all my little things of what I want to cover here. we can do just the briefest of mechanical overviews. Basically, if you want to play Shadowrun, you're going to need 2 or 3 5-gallon buckets full of D6.
Okay. I honestly wasn't sure which direction you were going with that joke. It could have been
3.
It could have been 2 or 3 D6s, which would have been funny on its own.
That would have been funny too, yeah.
But yes, 2 or 3 5-gallon buckets would be probably sufficient for a low-level campaign.
Yep.
Yeah, per player.
Yeah.
And what would you say the rules are like? Well, it depends on edition, honestly, because as it started out, GM would set a target number. You would roll a set amount of D6s that represent your skill level and try to hit the target number, and that would decide if you completed the task. In later editions, the target number was done away with, and it was just a set number, and you would get more dice to try to get more successes.
Right.
I think all here are pretty. We don't have any representatives of the new crop of Shadowrun players, which is kind of a shame. But so we're going to all be kind of biased to older editions because I like the old target numbers. I don't mind all the math involved. I know it slows things down a little bit, but
but it's streamlined on the other direction, right? Where what's your skill? That's how many dice you roll.
Yeah.
So it's simple on that end. You're not really calculating your pool. It's already there. You just whatever that number. I have a 6 in driving. I roll 6 dice, and whatever the GM tells me the target number is, that's what I'm trying to hit. And 1 success, I succeed. Whereas like later editions, like you said, it's like, okay, what's my skill? Okay, what's the applicable attribute? I have to add those together and then add dice. You're still adding and subtracting because you have to, but you're just adding it to your dice pool, and then the target number's fixed at 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's just a slightly you're adding dice at a different point in the equation.
Right.
Yeah.
So I always get kind of testy with people that try to act like it's less math. I'm like, it's the same amount of math. Actually, it's a little bit more math because you got to add one more thing.
Yeah.
To me, it's always been about knobs that the GM can turn. If I can only ever affect how many dice you can do, then that's one knob I can turn to either make it easier or harder. Yeah. But if I can make the target number go up and the amount of dice get differentiated, like those can be turned independently, I have a huge amount of control over what's going to happen.
Right. And something I know you're trying to get off the subject quickly, Eric,
No,
but I will say
warrants some discussion.
Something I love about older editions of Shadowrun 2 with the target number that varies is that you can set an insanely high target number and anyone can still attempt to do it because
6s explode.
Yep. So if you roll a 6, you roll it again. And if you get another 6, you roll it again. And you keep adding the results. So someone could say it's target number 20. If you've got 1 dice to roll, it's pretty much impossible, but you've got a shot. Yep. Whereas
it's been done and it makes for the most dramatic moments at the gaming table when it happens.
Yeah.
We have 100% had, maybe not target number 20, but
I did it in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn. That's amazing.
I pissed my GM off enough that he killed me anyway, but I did it. And I guess I did kind of. I mean, I'm hoping you guys understand the concept of TTRPGs, listeners.
Oh Jesus! Okay, so once upon a time there was this thing called wargaming. It was developed in the naval colleges of the English Navy.
If somebody doesn't understand that, this episode is going to be rough.
Avalon Hill. There's a company called Avalon
Hill. Yeah. Okay.
Chainmail.
So that's a very brief
chainmail.
That's a very brief mechanical overview of how you accomplish tasks in Shadowrun. Now, the thing Shadowrun is famous for is having way too many rules because, although we simplified it there a little bit, they pretty much. It seems like in the book, they're trying to make a rule for every situation that could ever present itself.
And for every possible direction a grenade could bounce.
Yes. Exactly. And that frustrates some players. Let's just come out and say it. I think it might have shrunk their market a little bit. I don't know. They came out in a time when mostly the type of people that were playing games liked that stuff. But
it certainly affected the reputation of Shadowrun to this day. A lot of people, if you are into tabletop games, you've probably heard about Shadowrun, and it's always been the boogeyman that's too hard to play kind of thing.
Yeah,
But these were players that were coming off of AD&D, like second ed, figure out your bend bars and shit like they were already used to crunch.
Shadowrun, at least through second edition, was very much aimed at that market where AD&D, you figure out, you have your, do you have, what's your strength? Okay, it's an 18, but what's your strength? What's your percentile for that 18? And we've got 5,000 additional books, all with their own little tweaks to the rules, and you're going to find that the grappling rules are slightly different if you run them like they do in the Monk's source book.
Yeah, you have complete monks versus the complete fighter, and
that was the business model, though. That's how these companies made money,
and it was very effective for a long time.
And like Shadowrun was, they did a more compact version of that. Like, the core book had a lot of those dumb, crunchy rules like that in it, and then they also, of course, had 14,000 different versions of a fucking shotgun, because
the gear porn. Gotta do it.
Yeah, that's what people like.
I have a heist movie without a gear porn, man.
But you bring up a good point, though. What differentiates Shadowrun from a lot of other games at the time is that everything is in the core rule book that you need. There's a bestiary in it. There's all the spells, everything's in it. There's no all the game master tips.
Yeah, there's no Dungeon Master's Guide versus Player's Handbook.
DMG.
It's a core book. Yeah,
right. So, and then they could split out the books that they release based on, because it's set in the real world. You could set location source books, different cities, what's going on in London, what's going on in Germany, what's going on with the Native American nations. It was a pretty smart and different model, I felt like.
While we're talking about source books, let's talk about one of the things that really sucked me into Shadowrun, and that is their concept of Shadow Talk. Which made their games feel, I don't know, it expanded the world and the lore so well, because within the books there would be basically, pre-made comment sections on all of the rules and stuff that was being presented in the book.
And this was before comment sections.
Yeah, it was before comment section exists.
Yeah, it was designed to mimic a BBS.
Yeah.
That was right. Because everything that you are getting when you get your hand on a physical book, it was supposed to be a representation of you reading it on the Shadow Forum.
Yeah.
Yeah. They even had the little they had the site buttons at the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and connecting and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Nicknames and timestamps when they said everything.
Anyway,
it was great. It was great for building a world.
Let's talk about the tragedy of Hatchet Man.
And it was an unreliable narrator type thing, which was so cool about
very much
it, where
it gives so many GM hooks,
right?
And it takes up so little space in the book. It's just
and gives you a way to make the world yours, because it could be like the Seattle source book, right? It could be talking about this area of the city has a population of this, and then someone comments underneath and goes, but they're not taking into account the people that live underground. That's probably 3 times as many people. And then someone goes, that's an old wives' tale. Those people don't actually live down there. And it's never resolved. So as a GM, you get to look at it and go, what do I think is the truth?
Oh,
and
maybe there's a huge colony of ghouls under there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So 4 people reading that page come away with a different quote unquote fact, which is great.
And then you get fun arguments between fucking Dodger and Harlequin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get nerds poring over this stuff and cataloging everything to try to nail down what the real truth of what happened is.
Right.
And that's where the regular internet came in.
You just wait for 5th edition. They'll lay it all out for you.
They'll answer everything.
Anymore. You just buy the book and it'll tell you.
I do feel like Shadowrun was on the internet before any of these other games. And I know by that I mean the Dump Shock forums and the Shadowrun archive and Bull's Place on the web and all these super early websites that there was nothing like that for D&D or what were the other games at the time? Traveler? I can't even...
Vampire?
The Vampire was big at the time. I don't know. It just feel like Shadowrun had of course it had a place on the internet because the internet was this new thing and it was going to become the Matrix, and so it had to be an early adopter.
And it attracted tech savvy people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. Fun. I don't know if it's simply my experience or if it's real. So this can be our very own shadow talk thing. But it does seem like I feel like Shadowrun was even more present on the early web than Cyberpunk 2020 was. Like, and it might just be because, I didn't hang out in those areas or talk to those people as much, but I feel like Shadowrun was more centralized. I don't know.
Well, I think it was more. I think it was a better selling game.
Yeah, it's more popular overall.
And so I wasn't. I always kind of felt like Shadowrun and CP 2020 was like a Coke and Pepsi situation, and who knows which one was Coke and which one was Pepsi, but people didn't really play.
Shadowrun has Nova Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Shadowrun had the Genesis and Super Nintendo game, and Cyberpunk.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk did end up having the best game of all.
They did.
Right. Unfortunately, yeah, that got taken care of pretty hard.
It's crazy to talk to people now about it too that don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's insane to think that Shadowrun was more popular than Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
Not anymore.
I'm glad. I mean, I've come to a later in life love of Cyberpunk 2020, 2070, whatever it is. But I mean, I'm always going to be Shadowrun first, just because it was my first.
Yeah,
I definitely had both Cyberpunk and Shadowrun like coming at me at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of was a little gutty to jump into 2070 and 2077 of remember all those people you loved that were awesome heroes? They're all dead. All of them are dead.
Mm-hmm.
And they all died horribly, just in case you're wondering.
There was a nuke or something? I'm not familiar. We're not here to talk about this.
Yeah, so I mean, we can have that conversation.
Adam Smasher was alive and well, Dean.
What is left of Adam Smasher is alive and well. That is true. And to be fair, half of the people that died horribly died because Adam Smasher is alive and well.
Yeah.
We have to save that because we will be obligated to cover Cyberpunk 2020 on this show at some point, which is going to be harder because we don't have any personal attachment to it.
I have quite a bit myself, but yeah.
All right. Well,
so one of the things that I would
keep
say
your
about,
calendar open.
About the early Shadowrun is the supplementals. Were you guys ever like around the Shadowrun supplemental stuff?
What do you mean supplementals?
Okay, so there was a thing released that they just called the Shadowrun supplementals.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they were fan created, just like little blurbs, and basically someone put it together. And I want to say the guy that did it is also the dude that wrote Eclipse Phase. I forget what his name is.
Yeah,
now. Adam something, maybe?
Smasher?
No.
Johnny Silverhand. Sorry. Fuck him to it.
Adam Jury. That's the dude.
Yes.
So Adam Jury basically went out and said, hey, if anyone wants to write some stuff for Shadowrun, I'm basically putting together like an underground zine, which is punk as hell. That is so rad.
Yeah.
And he made like 17 or 19 of these things. Technically 20 because there's a 6B. And I managed to get my hands on all of them. But like when that, or like during the era when we were online, this was the big thing. Like people were making these things. And then there was the Neo Anarchist Guide to Everything Else. That was another fan-made thing.
Nargle.
And then FASA had the official one, which was Cage, which was like sort of theirs, but they also like hired out other people to do it. So the royalties and like who owns it's really muddy.
Oh shit! Who owns it is muddy with something involving FASA. I'm shocked.
Yeah. So, but like those all came out too. So there was this huge like underground movement of like, let's make more shit for Shadowrun. Shadowrun is awesome. We want to keep this up. And it was produced in almost the same way that you would have gotten stuff through like in game, where someone would have released this new, thing to the shadow board. Mm-hmm. And you've been like, oh man, there's a new gun that this place is, making. Can we get our hands on it?
That's cool. And
like, it was a living world at that point that we haven't really seen that again. D&D's trying to do it with like their D&D Beyond stuff, but it'll never have that same feel again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like as world building goes, it's hard to beat what FASA was doing in those early days. And the fact that they were so open to community content in such an early time when you would think they'd want to protect their.
I mean, and to
IP.
be fair, like, did they agree with it? Could they stop it? These are all good questions.
Exactly. The internet was not a place.
Were they aware of it?
We did whatever the fuck we wanted back
it was
then.
Right.
As we discussed on our what was the name of that novel that we did?
Trouble in Her Friends.
Yeah, Trouble in Her Friends. Yeah, the internet was the wild fucking west.
Yeah, it was.
If they had wanted to stop it, literally everybody who was interested would have raised their middle fingers and walked backwards into hell.
And again, like, we're talking, this is 90s. So to even know that this existed, you had to physically know someone who knew where it was.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't Google it. It wasn't listed on Yahoo or whatever. You had to find someone who would get you into the shadow, what was it called? It was like the shadow ring or something?
Mm-hmm.
Shadowrun web ring?
Yeah.
Web ring.
Yeah.
There you go. And unless you got into one of those web rings, you'd never even know it existed.
Yeah.
Wasn't the concept of NERPs a joke that originated on the internet and eventually ended up in the book?
Because it was like network enhanced role playing parcel or something like that. It was basically like a thing that we released on the net, which hilariously Cyberpunk just calls them DLCs. I thought was really weird. But yeah, I mean, and that just became a thing of like, well, we'll just throw it everywhere because
it kind of became like a catch-all, like nobody knows what it is,
right? And
inside joke thing.
It technically could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is.
I do think that FASA wanted engagement with fans like that, because if you think about it, because we haven't really touched on this, and I don't know if you want to go all the way back to timeline at some point, Eric. I won't. I can save it because we haven't really. I guess we could start at the beginning, but the lore of Shadowrun happens in real time.
Yeah,
which is so different from D&D and so different from any other game. You know, if an edition is released 6 years later, the events have happened 6 years later in game. So people are participating in fucking presidential elections and writing in who they want to vote for in the game world, and they're kind of asking fans to get involved, which I think played a big part in that.
No, I think you're right, and maybe that is a good way to transition into the timeline, because I didn't really have much else. I was going to speak briefly on the expanded Shadowrun universe, like the novels. They had a collectible card game. They had several video games, which are
awesome.
Almost all of them very good.
Yeah.
I say almost. One of them's good, but in a different way.
The Xbox?
The Xbox one. It's good in its own way.
It's an esport now.
It's a great Counter-Strike clone. I can tell you that.
I mean, it's fun. Like it's a fun shooter. It's just not a Shadowrun game.
Right.
I only played that game a little bit, and all I remember is just, boy, there is a lot of fucking bouncing going on here. It's just
they jump really high.
There was something deeply, deeply satisfying about sniping someone who had half of the team under their tree of life or whatever, and hitting one dude and watching like 6 people ash behind him.
That's awesome.
It's there's a resurgence for it on the internet right now. I'm a member of the Discord where dudes get together and have tournaments. It's
good lord.
It's a cool game, but they dropped the ball in making it not Shadowrun enough. It's too FPS-y for Shadowrun people, and it's too Shadowrun-y for FPS people, and they just it failed because of that. So, but the other games, the SNES game, the Genesis game, and then the 3 PC games that came out in 2015, 16, 14, whenever it was, are all excellent and worth playing, and maybe we'll cover them here sometime. The actual story in them is quite good.
Yeah.
The Genesis game was my intro to Shadowrun. That's how I learned about it.
Was it?
Yeah. The Genesis game was my preferred Shadowrun video game version.
Mine was the Super Nintendo.
Yep, me too.
I loved that game so much.
That's another hot topic. People get fiery about.
They get hot.
Yeah, and I don't think we need to fight. No. Like they're both good.
They're both great. Yeah.
I have no problem with the SNES. I just slightly prefer the Genesis one because it's the one I had. I
love that they're so different. Like
it is very funny that they are two games that came out within a year of one another with the same artwork and are very different games.
Yep.
Could not be any more different. Yeah. I mean, I own a Genesis, and that cart, that's it. That's all the Genesis stuff I own.
That's just one I don't
in this country.
I got to get that. You used to make things in this country.
Okay, so
and I don't want to sleep on the Harebrained Schemes games either. Just fantastic.
Oh, those are amazing. There was also one more as an online game, Boston Lockdown, that came out a few years after the Harebrained Scheme games. That it fizzled.
Oh, I've never heard of this, so this is news to me.
It's a MMO.
Yeah, I think I heard
it was an MMO.
Really?
Not quite MMO, I guess, but more like you could play online with anybody and create your team and all that. But it was
interesting.
Part of me also wants to shout out the various Shadowrun muds and mushes.
Yes.
We need to get into that.
We would just be listing that bullshit for hours.
I have GM accounts on a great deal of those.
Amazing.
I don't even want to explain what a mud mush is. Google it. We're old.
Yeah.
If Denver Mush is still around and you're looking to play 3rd edition Shadowrun, get in on that shit.
Okay.
Just don't make a decker. That's all I can tell you.
I tried and they wouldn't let me in.
Let's be real.
Right. Yeah.
One of the overarching rules of Shadowrun is just don't make a decker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
You should. Damn it. I love deckers.
Pick the archetype and call it good.
I built
I love them too, but
for it.
It's a problem that Shadowrun has had from its beginning is making hacking fun for the table. It's usually pretty fun for the decker, but
Yep.
Unfortunately,
we're not going to talk
parties
about
are
that.
rarely only a decker.
Yeah, and I will say, and I've said this before, but in Pink Fohawk, Ben did a really good job of making it entertaining.
Yeah.
To run a decker alongside players. You did a really good job with that.
I had to do some tweaking of the rules to make that.
Oh, no shit. I hadn't noticed.
I had to make it work. But
it did.
Yeah.
It did. It made me want to try it, honestly.
And that was even like more or less vanilla 2nd edition decking rules, which is tough to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I did a whole rewrite of the rules, basically. Like I just went on my own crazy path in my brain and just started writing down what I thought would help it. And then someone was like, "This is pretty much rules as written." I was like, "Oh, okay." But Dean I have written those rules out. If anyone wants to try them out that are a Shadowrun fan and wants to try, and Dean has them on his Nullsheen. What is it called now? The Shadowrun Archives? You're calling it?
The unofficial Shadowrun Archive, I believe, is where it's at. But yeah, it's nullsheen.com/archive. And basically, if you have something that you have written for Shadowrun that people might want to use, or specifically like editable sheets and stuff like that, I've tried to catalog it so it doesn't get lost. Because when Dumbshock disappeared for a while, my heart broke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, never again. I'm a cloud web guy. I can do this. And right now, all of the hosting for this is technically free. So even if I was to get hit by a bus tomorrow, this would exist for like years.
That's so cyberpunk.
Awesome.
Yeah. I will.
Bus drivers still, that's not an invitation.
Yeah.
Don't hit
Please
him.
don't hit with the bus.
Protect this man at all costs.
Still.
He also archives.
You don't need to worry about it. They're defunding bus services all over the place. There aren't going to be any buses anytime soon.
No schools to go to.
Yeah.
That's true. I would be killed by a rogue Uber or something.
Yeah, it's going to be an self-driving car.
Fucking
a Waymo.
A Walmart drone falls on your head.
Yeah.
Much I want to go out, really, I guess.
Okay, so let's get into the timeline a bit. I don't know how much overarching stuff we should talk about, like the archetypes of Shadowrun and the people. Like, there are so many characters in this world that we could just be listing them for hours. So mainly I'm going to be hitting the events that are happening, and if people come up, we can talk about them. If some of the events that happen are like the genesis for what, like, basically the archetypes of the game are. So I'm just kind of focused on the timeline. Well, and I'm not saying this is the best way I should have done it. I don't know how to do this. Well, Josh usually does this stuff.
I know exactly where to start on the timeline, even if I don't know how to do the entire timeline. How about that?
Okay, I'm curious because I had a pretty good starting place.
All right. August 11, 3114 BCE. That is when the long count calendar starts.
Okay.
So you're talking about the Mayan.
Work with that.
Okay. Yes. This is the beginning of the fifth world.
Yeah.
Then comes, of course, the birth and death of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Well, I was going to start. Like Rome fell and was created, I guess.
Yeah.
I was going to start in 1988, so just a few years ahead of you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And actually makes me think, like, I don't talk, and by the notes I've got, I don't talk about Earth Dawn, but I think it should be talked about.
Oh, yeah.
And I was hoping we could work it in organically at some point, because Earth Dawn is a fantasy game that was created alongside of Shadowrun by the same company. And in the early days, it was in a very intriguing way leaked that the two worlds were linked. Like, it was never outright stated, but they kept dropping Easter eggs, which made it very fun.
It was the coolest thing ever, honestly.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it's like Blade Runner and Alien.
Yeah.
Pretty much, actually.
It was just about the coolest gimmick in RPGs that I was aware of. I mean,
God, they were doing such cool shit, man. Vasa.
Yeah.
And Earth Dawn, by the way, is really cool. Like, it's a fun game that I'd recommend everybody check out. And play.
I even super enjoy the mechanical systems of it.
Yeah, talk about weird.
Yeah.
It's even weirder than Shadowrun, but it's interesting once you learn it. So I don't know, maybe we can work that in, but imagine thousands of years before this cyberpunk future, there was a fantasy past where all kinds of horrific Cthulhian shit was going on.
Yeah, it's a big fantasy world with a bunch of fantasy races, some of which are the same as are in Shadowrun, elves, dwarves, humans, that bullshit. Also some dragons and some characters that reoccur. Then there is a Cthulhu apocalypse, effectively, until magic dies. And magic died, and then on August 11th, 3114 BCE.
Yeah.
Back to that.
We started the fifth world, so magic was dead. And then, in moving forward in time, Eric hit it, 1988.
I did want one more quick thing about Earth Dawn was that it happened right after this Cthulhian apocalypse, and they do slowly leak over time that Shadowrun might be right before the next Cthulhian apocalypse, which lends like a creepy air to everything going on. In the
if
world.
you were paying attention to both the Earth Dawn and Shadowrun lore and like the points at which they crossed over, it led to like the possibilities of very cool shit.
Yeah.
If you want to see that in a published adventure, Harlequin and Harlequin is back.
Harlequin's back, baby.
They cover
favorite joke of all time.
And shout out to Broge if he's listening, because he loves that adventure.
But one of my absolute favorite jokes of my entire life is the cover of Harlequin's back, where it says Harlequin's back, and it's Harlequin pointing at his back.
Oh my God, you're right.
That has made me laugh every time I've seen it or thought about it for literally 30 years.
Oh, Harlequin, you're incorrigible.
He is.
What a jokester.
He is a funny
Mortal
guy.
elves, they really got a good sense of humor. All right, so my first note on the timeline, and to be fair, the official Shadowrun wiki timeline, which I'll just be honest and say that's where I took almost all of this, starts in like the 1800s. But I thought the best place to start would be at the first deviation from our timeline that I could see, and that is in 1988, Michael Dukakis wins the presidency after H.W. Bush was indicted in a scandal and was unable to run.
I saw that as well and was a little confused. It made me wonder, what's our sourcing for that? That's like, why did they put that in? That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, remember this game came out in 89, so they were probably like, they were just coming off of that and looking for a deviation.
It's pretty
Who
smart.
knows? Maybe they're big Dukakis heads.
It's smart to push it in a different direction than what happened in there. You know, to be like, all right, we're deviating right off the bat.
Right, because they know as time goes by and the game grows older, the things they're writing are gonna not be coming to pass.
Yeah. So what are you going to write about George Bush's presidency in the future? You might as well change it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I don't want this to turn into me reading the timeline.
You don't want to just list things?
But I'm going to have to do a little bit of that. So I'm inviting you guys to chime in.
Oh, we will. Don't worry about that.
Some of these early stuff are really boring because they're really... It isn't cyberpunk dystopia yet. It's the 90s. Yeah. But the cyberpunk dystopia is kicking up. So what do I got here? I got him...
Phones were made of clear plastic, I think is the where you were at.
In 1996 is a wave of deregulation. Massive budget cuts to the defense establishment and social service programs, as well as privatization of several federal agencies and public services. So lots of privatization, deregulation, that always leads to someplace good, as we're well aware of in this world.
You did miss that, and I wrote this down in my notes, in 1991 is when Daniel Howling Coyote is born.
Oh yeah, I did skip some of the notable people being born, because the Fucci guy is born somewhere in there too. Let's see, 98, there's a big strike.
Yes.
And lots of food shortages. So we're getting into that good dystopia stuff already. Let's see, 1999, against pleas from union leadership, rank and file IBT members reject the government's final contract and continue their strike, which begins the food riots in, I believe this is New York.
Yeah.
New York has a rough go of it.
Yeah, it really does.
Early days of 2000, at least according to the wiki. I've seen other dates. Shiawees finishes building and brings online its first nuclear plant, which is completely independent of any national grid. So it's got its own power system, which is immediately attacked by an eco-terrorist group, Terra First, which I believe pops up here and there throughout the Shadowrun lore in the future.
You missed in 99, one of the important things was related to those food riots in New York. A company named Ceratech had one of their, like a convoy of their trucks attacked moving through the city because people thought it contained food, when in fact it was like some kind of toxic medical waste.
Yeah, medical waste.
Yeah, and a bunch of people, like a shitload of people died.
Like 200 rioters.
Yeah, and a bunch of employees. And this is the incident that establishes in the United States Supreme Court that corporations have the right to their own private, unregulated armies.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they saved
to
those
my next
people.
thing.
Yeah.
Really, they saved all those people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of little disasters and shit that I skip over in this, and not to mention, like, this game is fucking huge in Germany, and there is a whole lot of German. I got
drawn into a 3-hour YouTube video of Cyberpunk or Shadowrun in Germany.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah,
everything I've heard is if you speak and read German, the German versions of the books are the ones to go with.
Yeah.
But, all right, December 14th, year 2000, the aftermath of the Terra First attack, the NRC initiates a new lawsuit against Shiawees for criminal negligence as a result of the attack in which all the Terra First members were killed. And Shiawase argue for extraterritoriality as the solution to restrictive federal laws.
And that's it.
And somehow they thought, that'll fix it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now they have a private army and they're their own country.
Like, you just get me reelected.
Never be a problem again.
Now I have a machine gun. What to do?
This is one of the biggest butterfly effects in the game, I would say, because, and it's funny. It was fantastical as I was reading Shadowrun as a young man, but
then you see all the billionaires in the fucking White House.
Oh man, it seems almost inevitable at this point.
Yeah, as I started doing my homework for this episode, because it's been a long time since I played Shadowrun or, thought about the timeline in any depth, I was truly surprised just how much shit happens so early and how it's exactly like, change the names, but we're there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it happens before it's happened here, but it is happening here. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Okay, 2002, the Hunt administration, which is the president at the time.
Oh, it's a Hunt administration.
Sparks and is followed by Canada in the resource rush, in which they basically repossess millions of acres of lands from Native Americans, and from national parks, which is something that is currently happening, at least specifically in national parks. I wouldn't surprise if they start taking reservations back too, though. Using an eminent domain and then license that land to mega corporations.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a very cool time.
Where it belongs.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
The original owners, right?
Yeah. This game is going to have a lot of stuff involving indigenous people. That is a mixed bag. Because on one hand, nobody else was really doing anything like that at the time. And I've heard from like indigenous creators online that was really fucking cool. On the other hand, there's a lot of less than sensitive,
very 90s wording.
Yeah, as I explained to somebody in a conversation online, I don't know, a year or 6 months ago, they did the absolute best that anybody who was non-native could be expected or even hoped to do in 1989, 1994,
That does beg the question, why not hire?
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
The heart was in the right place. It doesn't age well.
But in today, 2025, a lot of the stuff comes off as kind of weird. Like, it's there.
And a lot of it, correct me if I'm wrong, but Shadowrun kind of moved away from it in later editions, right?
Yeah.
Like they didn't really want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're
which I think is a mistake.
We're still not hiring them, so let's not write about them.
Yeah.
Which is a good move in one way, but also why not talk about them?
Although that is,
I think they should have hired some.
I do too.
And leaned into it because I think it's cool. I think, I mean, it's an extreme, it's some kind of justice for people that need some kind of justice.
The Native American groups in Shadowrun get to whip ass.
Yeah,
they do.
Yes,
and they get to just even the art in the Shadowrun books makes all the native characters look way cooler than just about everybody else.
Right.
In its early years, Shadowrun was about underdogs.
Yeah. Punk, man.
Right. Yeah, it was punk.
Well, and and just how cool, like the fashion and everything throughout the entire game is very influenced by Native American stuff. I mean, obviously there's like some appropriation going on there, but
tons.
It's like at the same time,
there's a lot of Coachella war headdresses.
Yes. But at the same time, they've built this world where these guys were the fucking badasses.
Yeah.
And you want to be like them. You respect them. It's cool.
Yeah. And they were able to, more or less take over half of the continent again in order to, have some amount of their own lands. And more importantly, they had councils of people that, came from their tribes actually making law and stuff for them.
Right.
So they were able to become independent and I can't think of the word off the tip of my tongue now.
Self-determining?
It's self-governing, but there's another phrase for it I can't think of at the time or right now, but they were completely in control of their own destiny for the first time in a really long time.
Yeah. But this does touch on something that I do love about Shadowrun. What makes it gives it the warts a little bit, but it's like it doesn't shy away from tackling hard subjects like racism and things like that. It goes right in on it, and it makes its point very clear on where it stands on it, which I love.
Yeah.
It doesn't avoid it. It just goes, racism fucking sucks. And if you are into this, you suck and fuck you.
Yeah.
And I love that. So I feel like Cyberpunk avoids that entirely as a game, which is probably wise, but I don't know.
Even as a genre, you don't hear about a lot of race. I mean, maybe more recent stuff, but in the early years,
it comes down to you stop looking at is this person is different from me to am I still human now that this thing has happened to me, now that I've replaced these parts? So like it becomes this internal struggle, which makes all the external things kind of fade to the background.
Right.
Especially if you're a white guy writing that.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
Also, you're now in a world with orcs and trolls and elves.
Right.
And this is how they just say it in the book, that races stopped mattering as much. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the way it would go.
No, there's still humanist poly that exists to hate them individually. So
well, that's actually one of my favorite parts of the how did we get here section, where it talks about how black white that stopped mattering once orcs and trolls and elves showed up, which I think is actually a really good and I don't know, important. I hesitate to say anything involving a fucking tabletop RPG published in 1989 was important, in quote marks. But take
it back.
This is exactly how fucking arbitrary racism is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It
really is.
In-group, out-group dynamics. We just have to figure out who the out-group is so that we know who the in-group is.
Right.
And, if we can delineate that some way and this new thing where people are born with tusks and horns, man, that's super easy.
That's convenient. Boy, easy target.
Right. And this game
let's talk about...
gives you fucking polyclub people to kill guilt-free, which I love.
That is true.
It's true.
Which is awesome.
And they're the Nazis of... Let's talk about June 14th, 2002, in which General Motors consolidates... into a new corporation named Ares Industries, eventually known as Ares Macrotechnology, which is just a great bad guy corporation in a video game.
And
one of my faves.
They kind of own everything that is industry and killing folks.
Yeah, personal arms.
Yeah.
So they own all of space, basically, at least for a long time. And anything that produces a motor or has a gun on it, Ares is producing.
Great bad guys also occasionally play the role of the good guys when it comes to certain cities that get overrun by certain
and that's
problems.
kind of a weird, when we get into it later, of Knight Errant versus the Metroplex Guard and Lone Star. It gets really interesting how that kind of plays out.
Privatized police, who would have thought?
Weird, right?
And then
Libertarian paradise,
right? Which the whole, and this is getting a little bit ahead, but the whole concept of privatized police actually comes from, at least in Shadowrun, comes from a decision from Texas that they created Lone Star off of, and as soon as that sparked, then it just heated everyone else being like, "Oh man, we got to privatize medicine and we got to privatize the police." So we got to get in on this, otherwise they're just going to muscle us out of that.
Yep.
Right.
And that's, God damn it, it just seems like it's going to happen any day now. Speaking of things that face reality, and on July 8th, I had to highlight this because it's so close to our time.
Your segues back in are flawless, Sarah.
Seamless.
Thank you very much. July 8th, amid charges of widespread corruption and incompetence, Congress rescinds home rule in the District of Columbia and ousts the Washington, D.C. municipal government, replacing it with federal control. City officials and public interest groups challenge the decision in court. Every single challenge is defeated.
Yeah.
That one hits a little close to home.
But the guardrails in real life will certainly...
Come on, it's a distraction. It's just a distraction.
It's a distraction from the Epstein stuff. Which itself is a distraction from something else, which is a distraction from something else, which is...
And we all know that shit couldn't possibly happen a 14th time. So,
oh, definitely not. So that one was a little creepy when I read it, but
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, where were we?
We were all the way up to the super cyberpunk year of 2003.
2004, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I only put this one in because of current events. 2004, diplomatic tensions boil over into the 10-minute war. Libya launches an attack on Israel using chemical weapons. Israel retaliates with nuclear bombs, beating Libya into submission. this is probably the only, like, there's a lot of bombings and natural disasters and stuff that happens over the course of this timeline. There got to be so many of them. I'm like, I'm not listing these out. It's just
the world sucks.
The awakening is happening. The world is cracking into a new thing.
Yeah. The main result.
Everything gets weird.
The main result that I remember of the 10-minute war is that effectively Libyans are turned into Palestinians, where Libyan refugees flood into surrounding countries, and it starts all over again.
They planted some like super long plot stuff in that as well.
Yeah.
2005, Manhattan's leveled by an earthquake. It's not a good time to be in New York.
Well, I think that... Oh, actually, this is something that we haven't mentioned, I don't think. The kind of main place that Shadowrun is set, like the core rule book, establishes Seattle as like the scene. And there are a ton of other places you can be. And that is a really interesting choice to set the RPG in a real world city. It's like Cyberpunk. They're
Night
yeah,
City.
I mean, it's a fake, it's a nonsense thing.
Which is Chiba City,
Yeah.
really.
But it's really interesting that they chose, fuck it, we're going to do Seattle, especially since I think FASA's based in like Milwaukee, or was.
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
And none of those guys had ever been to Seattle.
yeah, it's
Right.
It's a really wild and interesting, like, okay, we're going to make a choice and set this in like a real world geography. What's a real world geography? I don't know. Seattle? And there wasn't even any
Pacific Northwest.
there
maybe.
wasn't any real impetus for it that I can see. Like, it's not like Seattle was important at the time. We were still a few years ahead of grunge, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I was going to
you
say
know?
that would be my impetus, but I guess if it's before grunge, I always thought it was at the same time. So
No, I mean, like,
That's wild.
89
I mean, it
was like,
It was while it was happening, but it hadn't broken out
no,
of
yeah,
Seattle
it
yet.
really hadn't at all. Like, 89 is when Bleach came out by Nirvana, which was 2 years before Smells Like Teen Spirit. I mean, you know, it's a really,
It's an interesting
yeah,
choice.
I never,
Because LA is right there. I mean, LA has its own fair share of shit happen.
yeah,
to it, but
Yeah.
it makes me happy because I'm sick of LA.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's honestly a really great. It was a really great choice on their part, which I assume was made borderline randomly. I mean,
Yeah. When I was talking to Dowd, he mentioned that they were like, let's pick some place that no one's set anything in.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
like let's find some random. It's got to have a city. It's got to be a city, but it's got to have like, you know, some different terrain around it and some different, you know.
There's a fucking volcano right there.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool
It's a
spot.
cool spot.
All right. 2007. Let's see. Major drug cartels take several steps designed to bring their enterprises more into legitimate business world. They buy out major resource development companies in Villahermosa and rename it the Oro Corporation, Spanish for gold. And that Oro Corporation future becomes our beloved as technology.
Oh, the best.
Another great evil to fight.
Yep.
One of my favorites when I was making
an amazing evil to fight, and just like the way as technology stuff and dudes and places are described is just so fucking cool.
The happiest, most candy coated. You know, like no one suspects the evil shit they're doing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
What
they
is-
would
what-
have.
What does as technology do in the world? Like, what do they make?
They own
all of-
Mexico.
They make
So-
all of your like your all like the most favorite beloved items, like snack foods, and I feel like they
They're kind of like Are they kind of like an Amazon sort of, or more like an
Temu.
yeah they're Temu, but
Yeah.
like an as
Monsanto?
Yeah.
Mexican team.
Well, yeah, but actually, Monsanto is probably a big part of it.
Equal levels of
yeah.
evil.
Yeah,
But am I wrong? I feel like as technology was they own like Stuffer Shack and like
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
stuff that
Yeah.
you would never assume they'd have some corrupt core.
tons and tons of just every consumer good you can imagine, with a core based in resource extraction from Mexico and Central America.
Yeah.
And eventually,
and blood magic.
Well, they had blood magic kind of from the start.
Yeah.
Well, we're not to the point where there's even magic yet.
You're like back to 3114.
Yeah. August 6th, 3114. Okay, so there's a huge ritual designed to entrap the horrors. Dunkelzahn is part of it, as is Harlequin.
They filled the Gulf of America with human blood.
The Gulf of America. Oh, God.
Ugh.
2008, I believe Dean was talking about this earlier. That's when basically private security becomes a thing via the Texas legislature.
Yep.
Urban militia units. I also wrote down just here a little note in 2008 on the wiki's timeline is that Israel grants Palestine full autonomy.
Yeah. Boy,
that's nice.
Yeah.
I miss our fictional past.
I made note of this one just because it was interesting. April 7th, 2009, King Charles is crowned in Westminster Abbey. A little bit ahead of the actual schedule that it happened.
Yeah.
Pretty close, though.
Oh,
no.
10 years,
15?
12 years.
Yeah, exactly.
She hung on a
long time.
There's another Native American reservation one. United Oil Industries on May 5th, 2009 received the right to exploit the petrochemical resources in 1/4 of the remaining federal parks and 1/10 of the remaining Native American reservations, both recently confiscated by the federal government.
Yeah.
That really pissed them off, too. Like, that was one of the final straws.
The next couple entries are their responses, which are basically attacks by Native American strike teams in retaliation. Let's see here.
Yeah, this is known as the Lone Eagle incident.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is where shit gets fun. This is where shit gets like Shadowrun to me.
Yeah.
This is really kind of where Shadowrun starts.
It's like everything prior to this, you're like, yeah, this is, this is like semi-sane, realistic setup for almost any vague cyberpunk future.
Right.
And
corporations bad. Israel's fighting with everyone. Got it.
And this is the point where we're like, oh, we're in Shadowrun, not some other random world.
Yeah.
So basically they take control of an ICBM silo with 16 warheads, and then just kind of have a standoff there with U.S. forces for a while. Eventually...
It's essentially a replay of what AIM, the American Indian Movement, did at Alcatraz in 1970.
Not to be confused with AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah.
They did their own atrocities, which we will not be discounting here.
So many of them.
So much cyber sex.
So many pedophiles.
Sexo. I am Brazil.
Yeah. That was more IRC.
Yeah. But yeah, it's basically a replay of what AIM did at Alcatraz, where they basically boated over there and said, hey, we're going to stage a big fucking protest on this federal land. Fuck you, pigs. And called the media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The United States Army responded, basically killed all of them. But in the scuffle, one nuke was launched at Russia.
Oops.
Which mysteriously never went off.
Yeah.
And no one has any idea where it went. It's just gone.
Yep.
That's what we call a plot hook.
Yeah.
Russia, of course, claimed to have dealt with it.
Yeah.
But it's
missile defense.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Why did I... Sometimes I wrote these down with a specific reason, and I can't remember what it is. A gang of enraged, unemployed homeless workers storm UOI's headquarters in Dallas and take control of the tower. The revolt leaders demand corporations be held accountable for the city's financial and crime-related problems. Governor Hunter Carstairs calls in the Texas Ranger assault teams to quell the riot.
Fuck.
After the smoke clears, 6 mercenaries are dead. A bunch of rioters are killed. Soon after, the state legislature passes laws... giving the security forces carte blanche in dealing with armed intruders. Similar laws passed around the world. I guess I just wrote that down because it felt like that's going to be happening soon.
Any fucking minute now. We could stop recording and get on Bluesky and go, oh yeah, there it is. Oh, somebody threw a bigger sandwich, and here we are.
Well, think about it, dude. Like the reliance that as AI grows, the reliance we're about to have on these data centers is going to be incredible, and somebody sometime is going to go after one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
And they can legitimately claim that that's like once these data centers are that important, they can, you can get away with doing a lot to the people that are trying to attack them.
Yeah, just FYI, there's a big Meta one and a big Google one opening up, within a stone's throw of 3 of our locations. I don't know where Dean is.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
FYI, if you're looking for targets.
No, we do not encourage that. You do you, baby. You do you.
There's one in Memphis I've heard about.
If that is cool, then you do you and keep being cool. It's not cool. Anyway, I'm speaking in code. 2011. Okay, I wrote this 2011. Shit starts popping off. The first baby is born with a condition that will later be described as unexplained genetic expression.
Yep. So if I may step in here, because I was trying to research where I'd heard this, and I found an interesting factoid. But so Jordan Weissman, we talked about how he was the owner of FASA, and he was the one that kind of decided, ooh, we should pivot to magic, right?
Right.
Well, apparently, I'd heard this part that when he decided to make the Mayan calendar like important or pivotal for how magic is reintroduced. But I didn't realize, he grew up around a lot of Mesoamerican artifacts because his father studied different tribal cultures. And so he was like captivated by that kind of lore and stuff as a kid. So he basically was like, oh, I got it. In 2001, the Mayan calendar says that, or not 2001, but
2012, yeah.
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 The world will end. And he's like, so we'll just say that it's more figurative, that, there's a magic, or there's ebbs and flows of magic, and this world will end, but not as the way we think it will.
The fifth world ends.
Yeah, the fifth world ends and the sixth world begins, where magic reawakens. So that's pretty cool. And that's where, like, it's kind of mentioned in Shadowrun. I mean, it's mentioned quite a bit, but you're right. Like, Earth Dawn really started to answer a lot of those questions because it's set in the third or second world? Which one was it set in?
I thought it was the
fourth. Okay.
Yeah,
even
because every other.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right.
So what is the third, second, and first? And one has to wonder.
Exactly.
Future games to be made.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of one of the things I always loved about Earth Dawn, just in general, is the fact that it's when you play, at least with the stuff that has like most recently come out, it's basically fantasy Fallout.
Yeah.
Because everyone's coming out of their cairns, which are essentially vaults.
Yep.
With less usual psychological trauma involved.
Maybe.
But, yeah, and I mean that's always the fun thing. What the heck was that, like City of Embers or something, where the mayor is telling everyone like, yeah, we're going to open the city, don't worry about it. We're almost time, and like it actually should have been open like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
It's like a super cool thing that you can do. I've run a couple times. I've run Earth Dawn. I've always gone with that concept because it gives you a perfect like little bottle thing to get people to use to the system before you push them out into the big world.
Right.
Yeah.
But super awesome stuff. I love
You can
that.
strap all kinds of shit to dogs.
That's in our own Earth Dawn campaign. What's great about Earth Dawn is the horrors are so many, and they are horrors for so many different reasons. Like a cairn could be opened up and everybody could be shredded and killed inside, and that one horror gets off on that. Another horror gets off on infiltrating the cairn, and everybody's alive, but they're all like,
not
fucked up in psychological ways.
Right.
Wait, is my apartment a cairn?
Yeah, they released the book Horrors for Earth Dawn, and it has some of the most amazing shit. Because whenever they introduce one, and all the horrors, at least, like there's a whole tier system and all that, but all the capital H horrors all have some shtick.
Yeah.
So the one that I always loved was Artificer, which is the reason that things have arbitrary traps that will cut, bite, and make you bleed is because Artificer exists.
That's amazing.
And he's like, I swear to God, that trap, when it went off, I got it off my leg, and then it bit me again, and I swear to God, it smiled when it did it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I ain't full of shit.
Earthdawn's great, but we're not talking
about
Earthdawn. I'm sorry.
But what a holy shit moment, right? Where you learn about how the magic ebbs and flows in the world, and then you're like, oh shit, this other game takes place in the previous world. And then, it got ruined by fucking horrors. And then the fucking record scratch of like, wait, are they coming back? Like in Shadowrun? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And I'm just really quick. I have to put on my anthropologist archaeologist hat. The Mayan long count calendar, like Ben was talking about, that Jordan Weissman was familiar with. That's also an entirely metaphorical thing. It's not the end of the world. It's exactly what it is in Shadowrun. It's one world, one world ends, another begins. It means simply a time of great change.
We'll tell that to the creators of the hit film 2012.
But that doesn't sell as well in the papers.
Man,
I don't know. Things did seem different in 2012.
Man,
I don't know.
Well, that's
yeah. Good times. All right, so we're going to talk about 2011.
Nope, we got to go back. We missed in 2010. Virally induced toxic allergy syndrome kills off a quarter of the world's population.
Oh, how did I skip Vitus? Yeah, I've got it right here.
So a good deal of 2011 will be about who gets killed by Vitus.
Yeah, Vitus is the COVID of its day, only quite a bit worse from the sounds of it. It's not as kind and gentle as COVID.
There were fewer runs on toilet paper, more runs on body bags and burial grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quarter of the world's population. That's pretty brutal.
That's a big run. Yeah.
Basically 1 billion people. Like, think of the logistics of that. Where do you put 1 billion bodies? And how do you process that many people?
Seriously. Yeah.
Because then and the assumption too is that this is, if it's actually virally loaded, that until the bodies are cold, they're still also dangerous.
Right.
No, it's
bad time.
Fucked up, man.
Let's not have one of those.
The answer to that question is cremation, and I have actually done in the past a lot of math about how much fuel it takes to burn a human body.
Yeah, it would be...
It's quite a bit.
Like, we would be, approaching the point where there would be, like, permanent smog over large populations, which would lead to all kinds of other horrible shit, but that's how you get an Uzumaki.
1.21 gigawatts, I would imagine. It would take that much energy.
I would have to dig up a paper I presented at a conference several years ago, but I did a bunch of math about,
whoa, save that for the Patreon, Josh.
I did a bunch of math on exactly how much wood, like in terms of either hardwood or softwood, you would need to effectively fully consume a human body and convert that into calories and stuff like that. This is important archaeologically. This is important shit.
I believe you.
Well,
you know what else is important?
Shadowrun?
On September 16th, Michael Beloit buys and restructures BMW, integrating it with Sater Munitions and Krupp Manufacturing into what would become Sater Krupp.
Mm-hmm. Which is also setting the trend of unless you find a company that is selling guns and bullets, you can't make a mega corporation out of it. So figure out who's making the gun and who's making the engine, and now you get a mega corp.
I only recently learned that Sater Krupp is Sater and Krupp have been around a while doing horrific things to
they're German heavy industry. They've got the record. They were in charge of battleship armor for both the world wars. Oh, that giant train gun that they built with the idea of being able to shoot Paris with artillery from like 100 miles away? That was Sater Krupp. Didn't
they also just invent the machine gun, or at least mass produce the machine gun?
I saw that train gun on Wild Wild West, the film, I think.
Yeah.
Did they do the spider too?
Documentary.
And every time I get on a fucking elevator that is built by goddamn Satyr Crab, I get slightly hard.
That's amazing.
Hey, thanks, Loeffler.
I will.
Loeffler's not around yet. But.
I will back up though. We keep backing Eric up, but you mentioned because you mentioned it, but we kind of talked over you. But you talked about how the UGE, the elves and the dwarves were born. I mean, that's fucking huge. That's where basically magic is just showing its hand that it's back in the world a little bit, which is
people are like, what is happening? Something weird's happening. We don't know what yet.
Yeah, just randomly people giving birth to elves and dwarves, which is fucking horrifying.
And that's on the good end because people were giving birth to all kinds of shit.
Right.
Yeah, wait till we get to Surge.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
This one I wrote down just because we recently got a very nice email from a Canadian person, which maybe we'll read on an email episode one day. But October 31st, Quebec secedes from Canada.
Yeah. we have. I don't know if Pink Fohawk has the same thing, but we have an interestingly large number of Quebecois or Quebec resident fans. I don't know why that is.
I don't know if this emailer was from Quebec or just somewhere else in Canada.
Montreal. Yeah,
was it?
Yeah. I mean, at least if it's the one I'm thinking of that we got I don't know, within the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Shout out to Canada. We love you. We don't want you to become part of America.
No.
In fact, will you take us?
Yeah.
Can we go?
Yeah. Can we be a province?
I wish you all the greatest success in your guerrilla war.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, honestly, the highest compliment I can pay anyone.
It's pretty high. 2011, let's do it. January 13th, the first baby is born with a condition that will later... Okay, that's UGE. Mm-hmm. We talked about that already. I wrote here, the IRA kills a bunch of people. The timeline spends a lot of time talking about the Irish Republican Army laying waste to the British.
Well, in 89, when they were writing this shit, the troubles were...
It was big.
You know, they weren't at a peak, but they were going on. That's...
Well, like I said, Shadowrun's a game of underdogs, and pretty much every underdog at the time of its conception gets a little bit of comeuppance. There's a lot of time spent in Australia and Germany, and it's pretty cool for that reason.
Which is supposed to, I think, also represents, like, all these changes is really shaking the status quo, but these, like, underground fighters are so used to everything being on fire that they don't even blink. They just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And the other people can't keep up anymore.
Right.
In May, it says, beginning now and for the next 3 years, numerous UGE children disappear, are given up for adoption, or simply abandoned. That's sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I made a note of this one because I've been there. The basalt columns of the Giant's Causeway rise on the coast of Northern Ireland, taller and more solid than they've ever been. Throughout the year, stone circles erupts from the ground across the UK. Giant's Causeway is awesome. I recommend everybody go if you get a chance.
Yeah, it's the basalt, columnar basalt. That's what it's called. Yeah. It looks real
very
neat.
Cool.
It's like paving stones, but real thick.
Yeah. December 24 is the official start of the awakening that is traditionally marked by the great eastern dragon Ryumyo appearing on Mount Fuji.
Yes. People on a train reported him.
Yeah.
Which about a pants shitting moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But holy fucking shit.
We got dragons, kids.
There it is.
It's official. Also around that time, under the cover of a fierce storm, Daniel Coleman leads a walkout of the Abilene detainment camp. Guards attempt to stop him, but their bullets bounce off a glowing field. So Daniel Howling Coyote, who is a pretty important character in the lore, at least has figured something out about magic.
Yep.
Also, one of the things that I liked in this year was the annual Samhain ritual in Salem, Massachusetts is attended by some new guests. A ghostly hunting group, later identified as the Wild Hunt, appears out of the evening mist, charging around the celebrants. So
that's awesome.
Just imagine all those like faintly witchy hippie goths that go to Salem for Halloween and talk about we are
claiming wanting to see something like this too.
Yeah. And they're having a big bonfire, and suddenly a bunch of spectral images wearing fucking horned helmets and chucking spears at a gigantic stag. Run through it.
It's very Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
When shit starts popping off and like the Titanic shows up.
Yeah.
Better late than never.
Jeez. Beautiful.
Oh, man. Let's see. I wrote down meltdowns and volcanoes all over Europe. There's a lot of nuclear reactor meltdowns. There's a lot of volcanoes.
Some more dragons show up, like
happening.
that Welsh one.
Yeah. Specifically, also, Dunkelzahn makes his first appearance at Cherry Creek Lake in Denver. A lot of shit happens in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And he grants a 12-hour interview with Holly Brighton, which he explains the awakening and what's happening. So that'd be nice if just some crazy shit's happening and a guy just shows up and he's like, calm down. Let me tell you what's up.
Yeah.
We're in the sixth world now.
By the way, I'm also a giant lizard.
The only benevolent dragon we know
Don't
of.
fuck with me.
Super chill dude.
Yeah.
I'm realizing now, I feel like I liken Dunkelzahn as like Bernie.
Okay.
If Bernie hoarded all the wealth
True.
of millennia.
Okay,
True. I guess Dunkelzahn's a pretty big capitalist, I suppose.
All right, fans. I recommend you go out, get that picture of Bernie at the inauguration with his mittens sitting in the folding chair and just Photoshop a dragon head on there.
Yep.
That would be great.
Dragon with mittens.
I don't know if
That's what
Bernie's
I
got a
wanna
big
see.
D, but I know the dude's got a set of iron fucking balls.
Let's see. We're going ahead to 2014. I did skip
Yeah,
some
sure,
years.
fair.
You got it. I knew this was going to
Yeah.
take forever. So, most importantly, on June 10th, Daniel Howling Coyote returns to the public eye and announces the formation of the Native American nations. He demands that everyone of European, African, or Asian descent GTFO North America immediately.
All of North America.
This is after he walked him and his friends and family out of an internment camp where it was legally possible to execute them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't
the best
like
part.
make a note of it, but what we said earlier was true. The legal genocide thing was in effect.
Right.
So
that's a hell of a turnaround to waiting to die to we're taking it all back, figure it out, and make it fast.
Yeah.
now imagine you're an indigenous kid reading Shadowrun. How fucking cool would this portion of the book be?
And what's kind of hinted at in the book is that, he went around because he starts to feel the call, like the power of the fucking Gaia-sphere, basically fucking talking to him, and starts to teach this new ghost dance, the Great Ghost Dance, to other people in this camp. And so over time, as people are being transferred around, this dance is being another spoken word of mouth, like taught to other natives that like he's basically building this massive fucking ritual spell.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like he's setting the groundwork for all of it, which is fucking
All
great.
grassroots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as a result of that, on July 12th, the Redondo volcano erupts, burying Los Alamos, and he claims responsibility for calling upon Mother Earth to cause the disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Federal troops are sent to apprehend him, but tornadoes delay their arrival, and he gets away. That marks the beginning of the Ghost Dance War.
And the beginning of the government saying, we're going to go arrest you. And oh my God, I can't believe that shit happened again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Daniel Howling Coyote.
Okay, I'm going to put my fucking hat on again. So the Ghost Dance movement of the 1890-ish was a real thing, led by a guy named Wovoka, who it was kind of one of the last gasps of the, especially the Sioux, trying to resist the U.S. government, sticking them in camps and fucking killing them, as as the United States government liked to do,
as one does with European roots.
We're bringing it back, Josh.
Yeah. We really are. Anyway, we need a new Ghost Dance. It was in the end largely unsuccessful, sadly.
It was pretty sad.
It's not a great, it's a sad chunk of history to read and then think about, because it's a bunch of really desperate people just clinging on to fucking anything because they got nothing.
Fuck.
Which makes the Shadowrun Ghost Dance in a little bit of poor taste.
Yeah, exactly. To link it to a real thing is weird.
It kind of does, but also it succeeds, which is, I don't know, it's hopeful. Like
it is like it's hard to say. We're not indigenous, and I'd like to talk to. I don't know how many indigenous Shadowrun fans are out there. I'm sure there are some.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to get their feelings, and if anybody's listening to this, please Bluesky at us or email us.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because I don't know, some of this seems to be handled with a little bit of care, and some of it seems to be handled with some very early 90s bullshit. So
to be like, this would be cool is not always the best approach.
Yeah.
Right. It's
right.
I think the heart, again, like you said, it's like the heart's in the right place. It's just
they're doing their fucking best. It's not best practices in terms of 2020, but they're like, hey, let's try and make the Native Americans fucking cool and kick everybody's ass, which, is its own set of problems. It's like the Native American shaman in The Doors or Wayne's World 2, if you're more familiar with that. The magical Negro from 9,000 movies. Like,
right.
No, it's a good point. It's like, what was it? Who got into trouble? It was a recent Catalyst adventure, right? Where they brought in like the Holocaust, like one of the concentration camps.
that was Vampire.
Oh, it was Vampire.
No,
At least
it's like Vampire did that 30 years ago, and they just did it under a different label. It's under
no.
Black
Broge was talking about this in the Astronomica Discord.
Yeah, it seems like
it was Shadowrun, right?
Yeah, it seemed like it was in the worst possible taste.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, if you're going to make that, if you're going to steer clear of that because you're like, that's messy, then the same respect should be paid to a real, event that killed lots of Native Americans. So I think it's like, this was a miss.
Yeah,
this one was a miss.
Like, it's one of those. Okay, great. I love them. I love the energy going into this.
Yeah,
had it been a little bit differently directed, it would have been perfect.
Right.
You know what would have made that much easier if they
hired
them, and still a consultant,
given them some money to consult or write.
That puts you in the clear and lets you tell really cool stories from like a much more authentic viewpoint. Yeah.
2015, April 27th, anarchists take control of Berlin.
Yeah.
I just thought that was cool. I don't put down much of the Berlin stuff because so much stuff happens in Germany.
It's like I said, I got drawn into like a 3-hour video on fucking Shadowrun in Germany, and boy, there's a lot.
But it's a great setting for Shadowrun, and I believe
Dragonfall.
Dragonfall takes place in Berlin, the Dragonfall video game. So get some more of your German goodness from that. And I got to say, I was in Berlin a couple of years ago, and it feels like a cyberpunk city. I don't know. There's fucking graffiti everywhere. It's legal there. So it's just fucking everywhere. And it's wild. Kind of
It's
awesome.
A swamp. It's where Atari Teenage Riot is from. It's where a big part of the Euro rave scene blew up. I mean, KMFDM, for God's sake.
The punk scene in general in Germany is fucking massive.
Yep.
I really loved Berlin. I wouldn't mind living there. It was right.
It's the epitome of anti-fascist at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, because
you got to swing that up.
You got to
after the things that happened there.
Wait,
exactly.
Wait,
we
what
won't
are we
talk
talking
about those.
I didn't hear anything about what fascists in Germany.
I don't know, something about.
I heard that there was a guy with a mustache. He was a real jerk. That's a Norm Macdonald joke. Yeah. The more I learn about this guy, he's a real jerk.
And that jerk was Frank Stallone.
I saw a Norm Macdonald bit where he was like, everyone wants to go back in time and kill baby Hitler, but I'm afraid I'd be captivated by his beautiful eyes. And I'd probably join him knowing
he's
me.
So charismatic. Oh my God. It's such a good point, though.
All right. Let's get back to this. 2016, a great year where nothing bad happened in America. Ares buys NASA on July 28th. That's kind of
Hey,
cool.
privatizing the space industry. That's definitely not something that's ever happened.
It'll never happen.
No.
November 11th, President-elect is sworn in and then passes executive order, good old EOs, ordering the removal of all Native Americans from U.S. soil by any means necessary, effective immediately. Good luck with that.
Y'all, I smoke weed.
2017, H-hour for the U.S. government and corporations, the genocide campaign of Native Americans. There we go. Daniel Howling Coyote initiates the Great Ghost Dance. Mount Hood, Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams erupt. Weather patterns drastically change, frustrating U.S. attempts to locate or capture Daniel Howling Coyote.
Again, every time they try to go after Howling Coyote, some horrible shit happens, and they're like, well, he couldn't keep doing that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's the fucking roadrunner, man. And then Wile E. Coyote can't get to him.
Also kind of cool, on August 22nd, King Kamehameha IV declares the independence of Kingdom of Hawaii. See, that's a little thing, man. Like, I didn't know about Hawaiian shit until I was pretty old, but it's cool they like threw that in there for the Hawaiians. Like, that's one of the things I love about Shadowrun.
That show on Apple right now is pretty fucking dope. The Jason Momoa one, Chief of War.
Yeah, is it? Okay.
I think 3 episodes are out, and it's pretty cool. Just FYI, if you're going to eat your dinner and watch it, the first 2 at least episodes are solid wall-to-wall Native Hawaiian language. So you'll be reading subtitles. Do not attempt to do it while you're eating a giant platter of sushi, as I did.
Okay. That's 4 recommendos, by the way.
I told you he wasn't done.
Watch.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
You just slip more in there.
Okay, here's a good one. Oh, so
I was just going to say, I think it keeps going back to like, now that I would give them kudos again. It's cool that they leaned into this native people, these
oppressed and indigenous
culture, because every culture has that, right? Hawaii has it, and Mexico has it, and it's like really cool. Ireland has it. Like, it's really cool because you can start to play with a lot of the culture. I mean, and sometimes in poor taste, but there's a respect paid there that wasn't usually, we don't see in that time a lot. Paying homage.
No, I've heard a lot of people say that, when they were young, they looked at Shadowrun and they saw like all these, I don't think there's anything specifically paid to like queer people, but it was a world in which that didn't matter. And you could be native and queer or black and queer or whatever. And how liberating that was for someone coming to RPGs, which, D&D, pretty
white and male.
And
right.
male.
I mean, think of like, who's talking about Tirnanog? I would never even know the fucking word if it weren't for Shadowrun, kind of thing, because I'm American white bread, but now I know it. It's just like, it's stuff like that where it's like, I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff in Australia too that I didn't include in here, but that they pay notice to. Okay. 2018, August 27th. This is a big one. Transys announces the first successful cyber limb implantation on a concert violinist. That's cool. That won't lead to anything bigger in a cyberpunk setting.
Keep that firmware updated. That's all I'm saying.
And July of 2018. That's
what I missed on July of 2018.
That is the first demonstration of the artificial sensory induction system technology, ASIS.
Beatles.
That is the foundation of the Matrix as we understand it in Shadowrun.
Yes.
Also, April 25th that year, the NAN, Native American Nations, U.S. and Canada, and Atzland signed the Treaty of Denver.
Ooh, a big one.
Yeah.
They were running out of places that weren't destroyed by Falcon.
Yes.
Or already raped by corporations for resources.
Yeah.
I was kind of, I felt like I didn't write enough about Denver on my notes here because I
wish we had that fucking Denver box set 30 years ago.
I know. A lot went down in Denver, and I've never really been like fully familiarized with the story of Denver. I know the city gets divided up, and then later there's a fucking ghost dragon.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
Yeah,
in Denver.
it's such a cool idea for a setting, and I have literally never once seen the box set in person.
I have a mint copy.
We've talked
beautiful.
about this before.
It's just like that thing was a non-entity. Like it didn't exist back when we were playing Shadowrun all the time. And it's such a cool idea. It's like fucking post-war Vienna. You can do the third man, but with fucking dragons and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
so it was always a cool place, but to play in it turned into a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I was wondering if that might be the
because
case.
You dodging through territorialities and
right, exactly. Like you're gonna go through 4 checkpoints to get your groceries. Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's exactly the type of bullshit.
It's
exactly the type of bullshit that I would jack off about. Seriously, that's my fucking espionage, post-war Vienna,
Oh, dude.
That's Josh's MILF porn.
Yes. He was the original Fast Jack.
Oh, stepbrother, I'm caught in the checkpoint.
Caught in the checkpoint and only Form 34AB will get me out.
But what about these letters of transit? I have them right here in my pants.
Oh, good shit. I don't think we're quite there in Denver yet. I just have noticed that it pops up a lot. It's also a pretty magical place from what I can see in the world. 2021, April 30th. Big time. Without warning, 10% of the world's population suddenly mutates. The process then occurs in utero children. The media calls this transformation goblinization. The government of the United Kingdom announces the death of George the... So why
That's
did I write
the
that?
seventh.
Oh, because he goblinized.
Yes. He goblinized.
King George the Seventh goblinized.
Yeah, many of them didn't survive because it's a violent transformation to turning into
the first wave is
troll.
But George the Seventh did survive, but was killed by the military.
Oh yeah, shit gets bad for trolls and orcs.
Yeah,
they're ugly, so people no likey. This is my dream, and this is why 2021 was the most disappointing year for me, because I wanted to be an orc real bad. I was hoping it would happen.
It's also the year that they established Yomi, where they basically went around and gathered up anyone who was a UGE expression and put them on an island in Japan and basically said, if you leave this island, we will shoot you dead. Otherwise, you don't exist anymore. Stay
Japan is kind of the worst with this shit in the game.
They're
like the biggest racists of all time in this game.
It's actually really interesting to consider the position of Japan in Shadowrun in relation to how the U.S. and our media was presenting Japan in the mid to late 80s.
Oh yeah, it was
not
great.
And at the same time, in opposition to how most other cyberpunk was treating Japan. All the corporation, they all kind of suck and stuff, but they got the best stuff, so we set up shop in Chiba.
Right.
It's a really what Shadowrun did to it is kind of the same thing that, say, was going on in Die Hard, where there is this tension in the movie that is Japanese corporations are buying up all this American real estate. Yeah. Does that mean we're going to become Japanese?
Right. The only room on earth for one empire.
Which is honestly, that's the type of shit that occurred in talk radio at the time.
Well, it's happening right now with
only it's Chinese.
Yeah. Let's see here. So we got Goblin. The government of Quebec extends full rights to all goblinized francophone citizens. So
Vive la
good
Quebec.
for Quebec. All right,
wink, all those
2022
Patreon out there. Vive la Quebec.
2022. We got some race riots. As
Vive la race riot. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. I'm sorry.
we took a turn.
Do not
get out
of
the race riots there. Sorry.
On March 25th, an anti-metahuman assassin kills Dunkelzahn's interpreter. That's not nice. Dunkelzon immediately obliterates the assassin, is what the Wikipedia said, which
reduced
leaves a lot to the
gunmen
imagination.
to component atoms.
Yes, because that's what Donkey do. I don't know. I don't think I wrote it down. Somewhere on this timeline, they did make note of humanity's first great dragon kill, so that's pretty interesting.
And also, just to put this into perspective as well, one of the things that they don't explain, and it's sort of like overshadowed a little bit, is that great dragons cannot talk on recorded media because they actually talk like into someone's brain. So they have to get a speaker, and then generally the great dragon will like sit all horrible dragon in the background, and then their representative will have to say everything that is, they're going to say. So
That's
there's
cool,
quite a few of these like interpreters that just get obliterated trying to like help a brother out.
In the novels, it's always, they do a really good job explaining, describing sort of how you can feel the emotion of the dragon. Like it makes you feel what it feels. It's really cool.
But you have to remember the rule is to never deal with a dragon.
Never, ever.
Yeah, it's important.
Yep. Conserve that ammo.
Speaking of great dragons, on August 18th, the great dragon Schwarzkopf begins lecturing at the University of Prague after the school adds arcane studies to its curriculum. So that's cool. You got a dragon professor, and the school's offering arcane studies. Magic's become pretty mainstream.
Also, slightly earlier in the timeline in April, and this is very important, construction begins on the Aztechnology Pyramid in Seattle.
So every corporation in the future will need pyramids for their various things.
You absolutely have to have a giant arcology. Otherwise, what are you even doing? Like, why are you here?
Also in the autumn of 22, Vetus 2, Electric Boogaloo, claims another 10% of the world's population.
As always, I'm contractually obligated to mention that my father dated Lucinda Williams, or Lucinda Dickey. Don't worry about it. Let's move on.
She was in Breaking 2.
I was just going to say, and going back to the arcology, in Cyberpunk, you're not a corporation unless you have an arcology. And in our world, I guess it's a penis-shaped rocket.
Yeah, pretty much. Penis-shaped rocket, maybe a dumpster-shaped pickup.
Right. We aren't as cool in real world, honestly.
The signs are there if you look for them.
Start building arcologies. Only Bass Pro Shop has
true.
one at the moment.
Yeah, shields.
With a skull at the top.
2023, Seattle PD goes on strike in February, and the governor basically says fuck you and hires private security company Lone Star to replace it. We're getting real close to our current day.
Yeah, horrifyingly.
Let's see here. I don't know why I wrote this down. I guess because it's funny. USA Senator Franklin Moss becomes enraged at Senator Victor Sanchez during a debate over metahuman rights. He challenges opponent, a known sharpshooter, to a duel. His death the following morning is widely televised and later sold on several video formats. I think that was wishful thinking.
Yeah, that's why I wrote that. That's really fun and a pleasant idea of how reality could maybe be.
I love that. I didn't even know that. I never heard of that.
I have never seen that anywhere.
It's like the opposite of the trope. Two politicians in a duel. Whoever loses, we win.
Nice.
Yeah. Musk and Trump are fighting. Shoot it out.
Yeah.
Do it to a duel. Also, the United States Supreme Court grants equal rights to metahumans. So there's some progress. And neuro interface software engineer Maura Thornton invents the SynthLink. That's going to be pretty fun. Okay. 2024, there's the first cyber arm in the NFL. Throws a 99-yard touchdown pass. That's
I'm not a football guy, but that seems like a lot.
I do know that the field has 100 of those yards.
I mean, I used to park by a football field, so that's a lot.
What it doesn't describe is the breaking of the various ribs by the guy who caught said football.
Exactly. So skipping to 26, July 25th, the first cyber terminal is tested for military intelligence applications. A room-sized isolation chamber using multiple jackpoints and hookups. System allows the operator to interface directly with the world data networks using their minds. Early attempts to use the system drive many volunteers mad.
Nice. I mean, as the internet does.
So
that's factually accurate.
I mean, look at 4chan.
Yeah,
it happens.
Turn them all into.
I'm afraid we've connected you to 4chan as our first experiments with the database we could buy.
Yeah,
something awful expired. So
all of our volunteers turn into a bunch of gooners.
The gooner rate is astounding.
Virtual reality SimSense 4chan pumped directly into your brain is not.
There were no survivors. I don't know how else to tell it to you.
Sir, the gooning is spreading. It seems contagious somehow.
All right, 2029 was a big year for Shadowrun. Let's get into it. We are well past our current day. Thank God. February 8th, the crash of 2029, a virus program of unknown origin and unprecedented power attacks the computer systems worldwide, crashing systems, wiping software, burning hardware. Within a few months, the virus collapses the entire world data network. Governments are toppled, corporations destroyed, and the world economy is on the brink of collapse.
Also, a bunch of people died that were
logged in.
Connected.
Yeah, it's not good.
Send an Echo Mirage.
Echo Mirage immediately pops up, a bunch of elite hacksaws to try to combat the virus because shit's early day virtual reality now. It's not something you do with code.
Yeah, and
you got to get in there.
Hard line connected to your brain, so when something goes wrong, it goes all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, this is also the imagined future internet of like 1989, when the only people who were online were people who were like really into being online. Like that was their job. So it
wasn't my job, but I was online.
You had
like
to
it
be
was my
into
job.
it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. This was one I always liked. If you think back to 1989 when this game was created, Microsoft was a pretty big deal, and all of the tech coming out of Redmond in outside of Seattle was pretty huge. So on July 10th, the crash basically turns Redmond, it just
the Barrens.
And that's the beginning of the Redmond Barrens, which are a great place.
A massive shithole. It's where like every video game of Shadowrun starts.
Virtual
in the Barrens.
Yeah.
Many campaigns of Shadowrun starts.
Yep.
No cops. You're in the shadows of these mega corporate superstructures that are fallen into ruin. What a place to run a campaign, or at least start one.
That was always, I thought, one of the coolest things, because a lot of people, at least when I was running, envisioned the Barrens as like Fallout, where everything is like almost razed to the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's actually like, for the most part, a lot of the buildings are still standing, and it was supposed to be built as this like,
it's like I Am Legend.
Super. It's supposed to be built as like this super nice neighborhoods where, you know, all the amenities were set up, and then just the power was cut off, and everyone left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually people like crash planes into them and like knock buildings over and shit, and that was bad.
Then it becomes idiocracy, like the Walmart idiocracy.
But for the most part, like, there's a huge population that are living inside of these what used to be nice apartments, but they're living in modern day with zero amenities.
Right.
So like still having to hike water up the stairs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was first started with Shadowrun, the term Barrens did throw me for a loop because it conjures an image of barrenness, but it does not evoke that barren of life.
Yeah.
Right.
I definitely had like a Cherry 2000 to call back to another
episode.
I had that kind of thought of Barrens when I first started hearing about it too, thinking it was.
And the craziest thing about this is that, at least from my memory, the Barrens is surrounded by like really nice neighborhoods that are just like over a fence.
Yep.
So you're looking at people with multi-million-dollar houses across the street from people who, you know, only own one pair of clothing.
That is an extremely real thing that happens in the world right now. If you look at like some Central American cities,
specifically a lot of very I use the word fun in quote marks, fun images of favelas in Brazil, where it's luxury, sky-high condos with fucking infinity pools on every floor next to cardboard and corrugated tin shacks.
Fuck.
Man.
Yeah, I remember when I went to San Juan, Puerto Rico, there's, I can't remember the name of they called it a slum. I say this because everybody there told me this, all the locals. I'm not trying to make a judgment call on Puerto Rico. But it's like, I took a picture of it, man. It's the most picturesque ocean with the beauty of old San Juan behind it, and then this slum like right down there on the beach. It bends your mind a little bit to think about.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody, we're doing great. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Anyway, go to the Barrens. Take your commerce there. I lost my notes.
Fixer-upper, the Barrens.
Yeah.
I mean, you
bring them
know
back.
The right guy, you can steal internet,
Yeah.
power, water.
Yeah.
It's
sewage.
a great place for Shadowrunners to lay low.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What do they call that? Where at the very edge of it is where all the like people go to quote unquote slum it, but it's like all fabricated to be scary and dangerous, but it's actually like super policed. What the heck is that called in the Barrens?
I do not remember or know.
Mm-mm.
I'll get my Seattle source book and look while we keep.
Well, that'll fucking solve it. Go ahead, Eric.
All right. Yeah, chime back in when you have that. August 30th, Echo Mirage. The next Echo Mirage 2, because the first group was
Echo
all
Mirage 2.
We're
Electric
out of Echo Mirage.
Listen to Dickie, my dad. Blah, blah, blah.
So they're all dead again too, but their sacrifice isn't in vain because they basically solved the problem. And also, people start to realize that these cyber terminals, pretty good way to use the internet to exchange data. And basically, the new Matrix is coming around.
So this is when we get into real science fiction. The idea that virtual reality is a good way to deal with data.
Yeah.
Like this is the first super science fiction thing we've seen.
Besides the dragon coming out of Mount Fuji. No, that's not science fiction. That's just cool.
Well, it also been a point to say that how corporations were fucking horrified with how easily these guys are just slicing through all their like technical, security systems on all their sites and everything. Just Echo Mirage just wrecking shit to get this virus. And so they were like, I want some of that shit, which is,
It was called Touristville. It finally came back to me.
Touristville.
Yep.
We did it. Joe.
Did it.
Let's see here. October 15th. October 15th. That's when the thing Trump wants to make happen. The remaining United States, what few there are, merge with the remaining Canada and form the UCAS, United Canadian American States.
Mm-hmm.
And this doesn't seem terribly unlikely if all the shit that went down,
Well, and it's, barely a shadow of itself. Like, they lost 3/4 of their landmass.
They're about to lose more.
Yeah.
2032, Lone Star's granted extraterritoriality, so that's cool. Private security forces, extraterritoriality. We love Lone Star. They're great guys. ACAB includes Lone Star.
And, of course, Lone Star originates in Texas, and boy, do we love Texas on this show.
I was just there. Had a great time.
Yeah, Texas.
It's a
Yeehaw. I'm in Texas.
Direct all Texan hate mail at Josh.
Come at me,
all right,
fucks.
November 14th, 2033. The first cyber deck. So cyber terminal now in the palms of your hands. Not quite in your pocket yet.
In the palms of your arm span.
Yeah, this gets into another kind of weird thing about Shadowrun. What is the difference between a cyber terminal and a cyber deck?
One's a room and the otother's like a laptop.
Yeah. One's portable.
One has a masking chip and the other does not. A cyber deck is always an illegal piece of tech, but cyber terminals are still
tracking
computers that you can walk around with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things that gets like completely thrown out the window that everyone has a cyber deck, or that like, no one keeps cyber terminals. Your cyber terminal is your smart device of the era.
Yeah.
So like you can go to, your Walmarts or whatever and buy a cyber terminal. They're not illegal. Everyone normally has some.
Right. It's your personal computer of the day.
That seems like for most characters in a Shadowrun campaign, a distinction without a real difference.
Yeah.
Right. It's just one of the, it becomes a thing where everyone's like, well, no, everyone can't just have a computer on them. And it delineates that the Matrix is only for deckers.
Yeah. This is something that I do think the book, we talked about how Matrix is kind of a problem. Decking is kind of a problem in the game, but I think Matrix in general is kind of not the best. It's not laid out the best in the book. It kind of, like, to your point, like, I think the only place where it says what you're saying, Dean, is actually in this, and so it came to pass in the beginning. It mentions that cyber decks there's a masking chip that Shadowrunners like to use it for, so that they can be anonymous online. But you read the whole Matrix chapter, it doesn't mention any of that. So it makes it feel like the shit that deckers do is what everyone does.
Right.
It does tell you how to find your area code versus your...
Yeah, and that's very important information. We have to have that. Otherwise, the game cannot function.
Right. It's always been one of those things that is stuck in my craw of like, the Matrix is for everyone. It's not just deckers. People can get access to these things, and they're relatively cheap to buy. You can get away with doing a lot of stuff with it, and it should be a common thing that your characters interact with.
Right. Yeah. You have a computer skill, you can find shit online.
I think it's interesting that how far behind Shadowrun was, like, considering the computing power we have in our pockets now compared to what they require a big ass deck for, but there's no virtual reality.
They luckily did the right thing and made new terms for it, which is always one of the funniest things about going back to like Cyberpunk 2020 is seeing everything in megabytes.
Yeah.
As like some huge incalculable, thing that a person could possibly store.
Remember the whole fucking thing with Johnny Mnemonic was that motherfucker needed 320 goddamn megabytes, and that was two doubles.
Hot RAM.
Yeah.
When that movie was made, I think 100 meg platter had to be moved by a forklift.
Yeah.
So like, it's crazy. But it's really bad.
But what is that? What's that law? I can't remember the name of the law that does computer storage, but and of course within like 2 years it was, that's not affordable, but it's gettable.
Moore's law.
You're right. You said Dean. They changed Shadowrun changed it to MPs, right?
Yeah.
So megapulses to just get away from that. So that's cool.
Yeah, and it still is kind of weird because there's still like a direct correlation. So 1 megapulse is 1 minute worth of recording.
Oh, right. In the gear.
So like, it's still pretty easy to make a direct correlation.
The kilobytes of information.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. We have to press on.
Sorry.
Because there's something I wanted to talk about. November 10th, the Confederated American States secede from the UCAS.
Boo.
So now you don't like that, or you just don't like the Confederate American
It's a
States?
poorly named
States.
Yeah. It was a poor name to choose.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, but now within the former North American continent, we have Aztlan, which is formerly Mexico. We have the UCAS, which basically just encompasses some of the Midwest and New England, and then some of southern Canada.
Yep. And then Seattle is a little island out there.
Seattle is at this point still part of the UCAS. I think technically so is California at this point. They haven't seceded yet.
Yeah, not yet.
And then the whole central Rockies area is various Native American nations. The reason I want to bring it up is because I've heard a lot of people talking about balkanization, and they think that is what's going to happen to the United States if things continue down their current path. Do you guys think that's a possibility for us? Do they nail it with Shadowrun?
I think it is a deeply ugly possibility.
Yeah, it wouldn't be pretty.
It is, in terms of a fictional universe, a very cool and interesting idea. In terms of lived experience, and I've known some people who were born in Yugoslavia and lived through literally the balkanization process there.
Fuck. Yeah.
And it's not like a cool experience, and that's in Yugoslavia. There were certainly regions, basically you could say, like, states or whatever, where you can kind of divide stuff up, based on ethnicity, language, etc., etc. In the United States, it will get extraordinarily ugly because it is not a regional divide in anywhere near the same way. It is a largely urban versus rural divide. Like, I can't imagine what the situation with Kansas City would be in balkanization. Does Leawood split off and join Texas? Like, are we surrounded by farmers with howitzers? Because primarily in the United States, it's a rural versus urban divide in terms of politics. And we talked about Denver. Denver is a blue state, except for the fact that it is a blue state in terms of there is this line that runs up the Front Range that is all very blue, and everything outside that is red. Like, balkanizing the United States is only going to lead to madness and bloodshed.
No, I think you're absolutely right. But you do think it's something that could happen?
I think it's... I mean, it certainly can't happen in any kind of elegant or sane way.
Well, it's looking... I think it's not looking likely is not the right word, but it's like you're seeing states fighting against the president. You're seeing... I don't think I've ever seen that in my lifetime before now, where states are really fucking... they're on their own. They feel like they're on their own.
Yeah. I mean, Newsom I'm not here to suck Gavin Newsom's dick. We've been on record not liking the guy. But he is doing some shit that nobody else is doing as far as standing up to the federal government. And I don't know if he's got the cojones to go as far as might need to be gone at some point. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe somebody else will. Maybe Zoran Mamdani will. You don't fucking know until somebody actually does it. And I feel like once one governor or one mayor does something drastic, it might be a snowball effect of other people. Are we going to be a country of free states surrounded by hostile or free cities surrounded by hostile, federal land?
I'll give Newsom some credit, though, with his recent social media posts trolling Trump's method of giving information out. It's very shadow talk. All caps.
Okay.
All caps.
Yeah, all right.
I'm not going to say I'm a fan. I think it's pretty fucking cringe.
It's childish.
I wasn't with you until you said it's shadow talk, and then I was
it's shadow talk.
It exactly is. Yeah, it's.
I was like, all right,
douchebag fucking trolling on the Something Awful forums. Yeah, all right, sure.
Yeah, it is.
It is that.
It is unfortunately very Something Awful.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we gotta hurry.
Okay, so we only have like 20. We only have like 22 more years before Shadowrun proper begins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're almost there. All right, so everybody, we're having some connection issues there. Josh goes again, and it is running long as I knew it would. Let's let our guests plug their stuff right now.
Go for it, Dean.
Whoever wants to go
away,
first.
Dean.
Okay. I run a Shadowrun blog and Shadowrun tool websites, enshrine.com. If you're looking for tools for old school Shadowrun, that's first edition, second edition, third edition. Hopefully I can hook you up. If you need more, let me know. You can send me emails at dean@enshrine.com.
They're the good editions.
They're the good editions.
He's being very humble right now. The dude collects all the original tools and stuff as well and puts them archives them on his site, but then also builds net new tools. He has built a new character generator for a chummer, if you will, for 2E and 3E. and you built me a Matrix.
I did build you a
That's
Matrix.
how we really first started talking. I was like, I can't fucking keep track of shit in the Matrix. Can you just build me, and also initiative tracker. You built me one of those. That was the first thing.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I'm Ben from Pink Fohawk, which is an actual play podcast set in the Shadowrun universe. We play 2nd edition.
What year is it?
It's set in 2053, roughly. I've given a lot of time has passed in this game, and I keep saying it's still 2053. It's an eternal 2053.
I get it.
And yeah, we have a lot of fun. We've won some awards. We were nominated for an Emmy before we knew what that was. That was fun. And we're going to start our 3rd season. We don't have a whole lot of episodes, so if you want to catch up, it's not like catching up on fucking Critical Role or anything. We have like 30 episodes only. So it's very reasonable.
And they're all bangers.
There's a lot of banging happening in them. It's very sexual and crass, and a lot of troll farting, that kind of stuff.
Maybe headphones on for this one, boys and girls.
Yeah. Don't let your kids listen to this garbage.
It is a very good show that Eric and I both listen to, and I'm looking forward to the Delta Pink.
Yeah.
Oh God, is that the name?
Yeah, Delta Pink.
Oh man,
so we're playing some Delta Green for so we're gonna be.
Oh my God!
You thought we were gonna be more clever than that, didn't you?
There are definitely no more meanings.
No.
Oh man,
Delta Pink. So we're going to be releasing that, I would say, in the next month or so.
Sweet.
We got them all recorded, all edited. It's fucking horrifying. It's awesome. But your classic juvenile humor as well. So.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. We can be. You guys have any social medias you want to plug, or are you good for that?
Yeah, whatever. Just Google Pink Fohawk. Okay. You'll find us somehow. Minimize the actual Pink Fohawks that come up. We're like 3rd. We come up after.
Yeah. We're on Bluesky, and that's it.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
We lost Josh. I don't know. Critical chunks of Josh are disappearing according to
Josh
this.
is phasing in and out of reality.
His component
It's a real Back to the Future thing happening with Josh.
Hopefully
right now,
tomorrow.
Well, thank you both for having us, and let's talk Shadowrun some more another time.
Absolutely.
All right. Josh, usually I don't trust you to say anything right now, to be honest, but I don't think there's any good quotes out of the book. I didn't prepare anything, so we don't have a quote.
Give us the Shadowrun mantra, Josh.
Do you remember it? I do. I do.
Go. I don't.
Shoot straight, conserve ammo, and never deal with a dragon.
Fucking A.
This has been the High Tech Low Life podcast. Find us on Bluesky at High Tech Low Life. Email us at hightechlowlifepodcast@gmail.com, and find us on Patreon at patreon.com/hightechlowlife. Theme music by Nihilor at nihilor.com. Thank you for listening.
Keep it moving. Come on, what are you waiting on? Let's go.
They're trashing our rights, man! They're trashing the fluid data! They're trashing! Hide the planet! Hide the planet!
Shut up and get in the car.